Sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.
We're back. It's Crunch Time here on Woodward Sports, 11 to 1 weekdays. I'm your host, Jeff Iafrate. Alongside me, I got my co-host, Booner.
Go.
We got KG. We got Caleb Czarnik. Caleb's getting into the groove, man. You know, he's doing like he's like the quarterback now before the show, doing the countdown. We're getting a good Caleb.
Rookie
here. This
growing
is like,
up,
you know what?
man.
Come on.
Shout out Caleb. He's doing a great job.
Better season than Caleb Williams his first year.
Can I ask a question with that?
Yeah.
In the NFL and baseball and all that, there's the rookie dinner. Do we get a rookie dinner?
I mean, you should.
Like,
Prime and proper?
I mean, it's gonna have to be
Prime
like
and
it's gonna have to be like fast
Look at
food or
Juicy,
something.
though. Prime and proper. You know they don't let brothers in there.
I'll take the boys out to Art and Jake's Black Rock. I'll take the boys.
All right, deal. That's the rookie.
That sounds a little better.
Rookie dinner. Caleb's
A
on.
little more in the neighborhood.
Yeah, Caleb's been doing a good job. I know
Killing
not
him,
necessarily a good job, though, directing Booner to work. I know there's been some
Setting this guy's camera up, holy shit.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I drive an hour to work every day, and I've been there's like in Michigan, this is like construction season, and I've been trying to figure out a new route here because this our first week was this week. I asked Caleb. I said, "Hey man, he's coming from up in Romeo, so it's similar areas to me." I said, "What route do you take?" And he starts giving me all these directions. Dude, I took his direction this morning. It added 10 minutes onto my route.
Hey, KG, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Am I in charge of construction in Michigan?
No, you
Do I
are
know
not.
where construction's
No,
gonna be?
no,
but
you are not.
all right, this is a fair situation here. I didn't go out of my way and say, "Hey, Caleb, can you help me get to work?" I know how to get here. I know different routes. Caleb goes, "Hey, I have this path that I take." He was like, "I think this would be really quick for you. You should try and take it." John R., I guess is the road. I've never been not familiar with John R.
You're not familiar with John
Right.
Not familiar. He says
That's
take
crazy.
John R. all the way up. I go, okay.
How long have you lived here?
Forever. I just John R. is never a road that has been put on my
He just
radar.
avoids it.
right.
John R.
I'm on Van Dyke. I'm on 53, 75, 696. Those are the roads that I'm just Mound
okay.
Road.
Yeah, well,
those are the
that's
roads
fine.
that I'm just familiar with, right?
fine, yeah.
He goes, he can't complain and be like, "Am I in charge of construction?" He volunteered himself to help me out. We're in the offices back there, and he goes, "I have a route for you.
Oh, yeah.
This route's going to be quicker. This route's way quicker. It might knock 10 minutes off of your route." I go, "Oh, awesome. Let's go. Construction. I drive a long way. This guy just gave me like the best route to get to work. I'm going to try it out." I tried it out the other day. Wasn't even close to working. All it was construction. And then he goes, "Oh, well, to avoid the construction, just take a right early and go on 13 Mile or something." So today, you know what I do? I take the whole route. Dude, it added instantly, right when I make the turn, 10 minutes onto it. I was like, oh my Lord.
My parents live in Romeo, so I'm coming from that direction a lot, and that's the route I take, and it works every single time. So you might just be unlucky, or you're catching John R. at a bad time, because every time I've taken that route, it's flawless. I love it.
Added. I'm not kidding either. My GPS instantly, when it saw that I went a different direction, instantly 10 minutes onto it.
Oh, shit.
Right away. I was like, this guy's just leading me in the wrong direction. That's my teammate over there. It's just. He's essentially
to look out
it's like
for you.
Panay Sewell, like in like I don't know, Christian Mahogany talking to Christian Mahogany's like, "Panay, do this," and Panay doesn't, gives up a sack, and I'm sitting here going, "Dude, like, can I get some help around?"
Hey, shout out Sean Murphy in the chat. He says, "Booner, how the fuck do you not know John R?"
I don't know who is John R.
I
road.
don't know who John R. is.
Do you know John R?
No.
Do you know John
To
R?
this
Yes.
The
Yeah.
guy.
I know the street.
I know the street.
Do you know the guy John R?
Why do we have to know the guy? I've driven on John R. You have, definitely. You just
I
don't
probably
remember.
have. I just don't. It didn't click in my head.
There's just no way.
There's
I
so many
refuse
road
to
names.
believe you have not driven. Anyway.
There's DeQuinder. There's someone in the chat say DeQuinder.
So you know
I know
DeQuinder,
DeQuinder.
but
I
don't
do
know
know
John
DeQuinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you taking a helicopter to fly over John R. or something?
I know DeQuinder.
By the way, shout out to the chat. We got Massacre in there. He says, absolutely McDonald's. It is rookie dinner. McDonald's rookie dinner.
He already locked in Art and Jake's or Black Rock. My vote's going to be
Can't
Black
go
Rock.
backwards now.
Shout out Tammy. We got Tammy in there. Mike
Shout out.
G.
Good morning, Tammy.
Yep. Eduardo says whose idea was a thumbnail. They nailed it. Yeah, this thumbnail is special because today we're going to talk about the conversation. NFC North quarterbacks. Where does Jared Goff rank? And talk about the future. We have a big guest joining today. Good friend of the show, Justin Rogers, Detroit Football Network. He'll join us in the first hour, and we'll talk some Lions, but specifically, what we're talking about with Lions is most to gain, most to lose. It's the first time segment we're doing here. What player has the most to gain, what player has the most to lose. And then we have a surprise trade suggestion scenario for the Pistons later in the show in the second hour. So that player you're going to be, I don't know, either you'll be excited for or you'll absolutely hate, but we'll talk about it.
I'm excited for the player. I'll tell you that right away. And you guys know I just get excited for most players anyways. So can I just ask a question to really, I don't know if it's a booth anymore, but like the booth boys.
The booth, yeah.
I want to just ask them a question real quick because you two are Tigers guys.
Unfortunately.
What's wrong with the Detroit Tigers? They've lost like 13 of the last 15. I watched the game yesterday. They're up. I think I was like, I'm going to bed or I'm done watching it. I think they're going to win this game. And then this morning I wake up and they lost.
Where do you want to start?
Anyway, I just want to.
It's a lot.
This is what I want to do. I might have to take control of this whole situation and turn the Tigers around on my own.
Well, what the fuck's been taking you so long?
I just realized they lost 13 of the last 15. I didn't know what was going on. I woke up this morning, did all these like Twitter things. I'm like, how is this happening right now?
Yeah. Well, Caleb, do you want to start?
I could start. Look, it's okay. What makes it the most frustrating is that, yes, the injuries, 15 guys. I think it's 14, 13 guys on IL right now. But they're just beating themselves. You look at last night. They're rallying a little bit in the 8th inning. They get fucking picked off at second base. They're hurting themselves in the field. They can't field. And what's disappointing is that you're getting a really good season out of Riley Green, probably the best season of his career, and they're just not capitalizing on it. You have no pitching. Your bullpen is extremely inconsistent, and I don't want to use injuries as the main excuse.
It's beyond that.
Because okay,
you've had the same offense for 3 years now,
and it's like, okay, Scooble's missed what, 2 starts, 3 starts. Okay, that's 2 losses. Gleyber Torres, he's a great player, but is Gleyber Torres really like a needle-moving player for the Tigers? Like, it's not like Riley Green is hurt. Kerry Carpenter's hurt. He sucks this year.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I want to reevaluate this team after they get healthy, but right now it's just like you're just playing bad baseball. It's annoying.
By the time Scooble gets back, you're going to be in such a hole. I don't even know if you'll be able to salvage it, especially like you said, the bullpen's in disarray. Your starters are injured, and then you got the fact that this offense has been atrocious for years now. Like, and it's not getting any better. You added Kevin McGonigal, who was a revelation as a rookie, but that's all you got to look forward to. You got 3 guys above a 600 or 700 OPS, and that's about it. 3 guys out of 9.
I mean, look at Zach McKinstry is basically he came back from his injury. He's an everyday player now. He has like a 480 OPS.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think Neil brought that up earlier today. It's like that's a guy that's playing every day for you. Zach fucking Short.
Yeah.
Zach Short, who should be playing at Jimmy John's Field in Utica.
Wow.
And
it's a fine establishment.
Fine, great, yeah. But he's your
0 average, bro. I'm sorry.
He doesn't have a hit this year.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
It's ridiculous. Look, I think better times are ahead, but we'll see. I don't know.
I think it's over.
You think it's over? I'm gonna make my statement right now. Tigers are gonna make the playoffs.
Okay.
They're gonna get right back in this thing. I think they're 4 or 5 games out of a wild card and the division.
That's how bad the AL
They're gonna make it at some point. They're gonna go on a run. We've seen the last 2 years that they have half of the season they're really bad and the other half of the season they're really good. Yeah. I feel like that's been the case for them. We're just waiting for that really good half.
Bro, if they fall to like 6 or 7 games away from the wild card, it's over.
Well, right now we're at 4 or 5. So when they get to 6 or 7, I'm not gonna hit the 6, 7. We'll have that conversation.
Okay.
That was discipline right there, by the way.
By the way, Freddie fell through on 3. Says John R. equals Detroit's first elected mayor, John R. Williams.
Oh, thank you, Freddie.
By the way,
Jared showed me that.
Yeah. By the way, just editing team, just cut this part out. We should know that. That's bad luck.
I don't know mayors. I shouldn't know mayors.
Aren't you running for mayor in 2028?
I potentially, or Congress, one of the two.
Okay.
We had discussions with the heavyweights that we might have a Booner 2028 for Congress.
The Booner path goes national. You already got your campaign slate.
That would be the Booner path. That's honestly, it's easy because the 2 people running for Congress around here right now is like this lady that's like twerking for votes.
Hey, I'm all.
And then the guy that, and then dude, you got to go watch the video. Then Fox 2 did a whole thing on it, and then the guy that wears a wig. So we're sitting here. It's like I could probably get in this race and win.
I mean,
it might be too late now.
Today's times, I wouldn't put it past.
But in 2028, I think there's a chance. Like, hey, if Woodward Sports backing me, I think we got a good chance to win the 2028 election.
You got our vote.
Yeah.
You got our vote. What do you think, Chad? You guys voting for? Would you give Booner a vote?
What issues are you running on, Booner?
Just the Booner path, man. I'm the man of the people. If you want something, I'll get it for you.
Are you for abortion? No, I'm talking.
Set this man up.
All right, I'm not running anymore. I don't know how to answer that question.
By the way, before we go to break, I got to mention the Lions signed a wide receiver yesterday, which just kind of floated over the radar. Celdric Williams.
So you don't even know the name.
Celdric Wilson, the former Cowboys, former Dolphins wide receiver. Actually, I think he had his best years with the Cowboys.
Back in like 2022, 2021.
Yeah.
600 yards. He's 600.
Considered a
7
veteran.
touchdowns.
I think he's the only receiver in the room besides Tom Kennedy that's older than 27. So he is a veteran. He's like I guess I don't know if he's Unk now, like the Tobias Harris of the Pistons, like in the wide receiver room. The thing that doesn't really make sense to me is you sign a wide receiver, I assume it's for competition, but he doesn't have any special teams experience, so it's strictly just for competition. He says he has 210 snaps on special teams, the majority that came in 2024.
Well, if you watch the 2024 tape, when I looked up his highlights yesterday, he had a couple really good punt returns for the Dolphins.
He has 36 career punt returns.
Yeah, and they were probably all in 2024.
And
there was a couple that he had good returns to set the Miami Dolphins up for a good position. So maybe that's what it is. They're just trying to get some. And my thought process is it is such a deep wide receiver room right now that back end they just want to get competitions. Like Greg Dortch is in there. You're thinking Greg Dortch is going to be the Khalif Raymond replacement. Okay, can you maybe get him in here to compete with Greg Dortch? I know that's like not that exciting for people. Like, oh, we have a Greg Dortch competition, but I think if you are Brad Holmes, you're looking at it like, hey, we're going to get guys in here to compete now. That's kind of a. Now, would I rather have signed like an edge rusher? Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, Greg Dortch competition, sweet. I'd rather have DJ Wanham competition.
Me
and I know
too.
you can say, well, Derrick Moore's that competition. We'll get into that. Yeah. But you got to add another body in there.
It is interesting that they build competitions in rooms where it's like they have their best players, but they don't build competitions in rooms where it's like you do need more competition.
Yeah, how about like sniffing a quarterback instead of being last in time to pressure? Can we get to that?
That would be cool.
Those wide receivers are pretty good last year. I mean, yeah, they had some drops, but you still have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL. This move doesn't really – I mean, we're not going to break down Celdric Wilson, but it's worth reporting.
Camp sign.
We got to – yeah, exactly. We'll go to break. When we come back, we'll get into Derrick Moore, and then we'll get Justin Rogers on here. We'll talk to him as well, so you're going to want to stick around for that. But before we do that, I got to tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is for everybody. 50-plus Metro Detroit locations and over 2,700 clubs nationwide. Access to the Black Card Spa, where you can recover with the hydro massage and other innovative amenities. Bring a free guest anytime, just $24.99 a month. We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. The toughest sports network in Detroit. But we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Let me tell you about Massage Chair House. Looking to take your relaxation to the next level? Then you've got to check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. They carry top brands like Infinity and Osaki, making it the go-to destination for premium comfort and cutting-edge wellness technology. Be sure to visit Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
We're back. It's crunch time on Woodward Sports. Halfway almost through the first hour. We got Derrick Moore to talk about. All right, so the edge rusher conversation we spent time on the last couple of days, and we're going to continue to spend time on it because it's such a polarizing topic in Detroit sports over the last couple of years. I mean, you can never talk enough about the edge until Brad Holmes drafts one. Now it's like a different perspective. You're a little more positive about it because he finally got an edge rusher. It's Derrick Moore. Okay, drafted him in the second round. And there's a lot to be excited about with Derrick Moore. We all understand that. Player out of Michigan, had the production, 10 sacks last season at Michigan. People were looking for at least Brad Holmes to prioritize that in the draft someone higher than, an Ahmed Hassanin, and all due respect, in the 6th round, but kind of prioritize that higher in the draft, and he did that. I think he said it himself. Derrick Moore was one of his best players entering day 2 of the draft. So people are going to have high expectations, and to some extent, rightfully so, and I understand why. It's an edge. It's a player that goes into a room that's been so weak for so long, that edge 2 spot. So it's easy to get excited. It's easy to have high expectations of Derrick Moore. So I decided to really go back and look over the last decade at second-round edge rushers and see how they performed in their rookie season, because that is what Derrick Moore is in his rookie season. We're not having a conversation about what he's going to look like over the next 4 to 5 years. It's what does he look like in 2026, going into 2027. Can he help the Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl this year? And we're talking about Derrick Moore's rookie expectations, so I'll start with this. Like I said, over the last decade, I went and looked at second-round drafted edge rushers. None of them, besides one, over the last decade, really dominated the rookie season. The only player that had production that I guess people would probably expect out of Derrick Moore, which I think is a little unfair, is Preston Smith. As a rookie, he put up 8 sacks. That was 2015. Ever since that, so since 2015, after Preston Smith, okay, you know what out of all the second-round pick edge rushers, you know what the average amount of sacks the rookie year was?
3.5.
2.6.
Right there.
And if I throw Preston Smith into that, it goes to 3.1 sacks the rookie year. 3.1. Derrick Moore's talented, okay? We agree. Don't get me wrong on that. He's talented. We've seen what he did at Michigan. Do I believe he can get more than 3 sacks? Probably. I do. But I think the way I'm trying to set this up is don't get ahead of yourself and expect Derrick Moore to be this solution right away as a rookie. Okay? I think Neil says it best. Don't expect to hit a rookie parlay. I think that's one of the things Neil said has always stuck with me, because I go into this line of season. It's the same reason why I hesitate calling them contenders, because people are depending on a rookie parlay, and that's the reality of it. So the biggest jump a player can take, I'll finish it with this, is from year 2 to year 3, not college to year 1. That's where people got to temper those expectations.
Yeah, I don't even think, too, boys, like the thing with a Derrick Moore, we had this conversation last year when they were actually, like, Lions were considered Super Bowl contenders, where everyone wanted that edge, and it was like, if you're relying on an edge, or not an edge, but a rookie to be that next, hey, that's going to take you to a Super Bowl, a rookie, then you're probably not at a spot to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
If you're relying on a rookie to do that.
Right.
And that's where I think like this, we've been pounding the table. Every single Lions fan's been like, we need an edge, we need an edge, we need an edge. And we've been asking Brad to draft one. Now he drafted one, not a first-round guy. It's kind of a second-round guy that you're getting in there to kind of get his feet wet, develop, kind of learn from what's going on. I will say this, Jeff, and I get that, and I get most second-round edges, 3.1 sacks per year to open the year, and you can't take out Preston Smith, but with Preston Smith, 3.1, correct?
We'll throw him in there.
Well, you have to, because he's considered in the data or the data. If you're going to bring the stats, we got to use them all.
Ahead.
You can't just you just pulled a Kelvin Shepard. You said, well, if you take this run out, then it's really this. You can't take take the highest guy out, then it's this.
Okay, you can have 3.1 sacks.
Okay, I'll take the 3.1. So now if that's the average, right? That's the average. Okay, that's fine with me. The one thing that I look at, like I was thinking about this morning with Derrick Moore, was what style of edge rusher is he, boys? Like, he's probably going to be your third down guy. He's really going to be your pass rush specialist, but he's a power guy. But he's not the best in the run game. So that's why you got DJ Wanham, a vet that can hopefully help stop the run on those first couple downs. And then if you can get a Derrick Moore in there to pass rush with Aiden Hutchinson, like, you're looking at a good 1-2 punch. For example, right, who were the last two guys that were pass rush specialists with Aiden Hutchinson on this team? AQM. And who was the other one? James Houston.
Yep.
What did they do in those their big years before they left? Like 8.5 sacks, and I think it was 11 sacks last year for AQM.
Yep.
Two guys that put numbers up. Now, if you guys are like, hey, look, they could do it again. They could do it again. Guys, those two guys, if you go look at their career before those seasons, neither of them, I believe, had over 6 sacks in college or in the pros. I'm pretty sure AQM's next highest was in Indy. He had a 6-sack season. And in college, he didn't even come close to that. I think it was like 4 and 5 or somewhere around there. So these guys got to the Detroit Lions, got put across from Aiden Hutchinson, and the common denominator in all of that is, hey, I'm on the Detroit Lions D-line, and I have a guy getting double-teamed on the opposite side of me, so I can go out there and take care of business and get to the quarterback. Now, for Derrick Moore, there's a difference between AQM, Derrick Moore, AQM, or James Houston, Derrick Moore. Derrick Moore has done it. He's had 10-plus sacks in the season at Michigan. He's proven that he could be a legit pass rusher when he's playing against high-level talent. Now, obviously, NFL is a different step, but you throw a better player, in my opinion, coming into this Detroit Lions roster, Derrick Moore is more talented and a better player than AQM was, than James Houston was. He's on a different level than those guys. Now you're throwing a guy like that in there on those third downs that you've already seen two other guys be successful that didn't have success before. Derrick Moore's going to have success. And will it be right away? Maybe not. It might not be the first 4, 5, 6 weeks, but eventually you're going to start seeing kind of those opportunities that James Houston and AQM had because of the attention that Aiden Hutchinson's going to garnish, dude. It's going to happen.
What's a realistic stat line here?
I think this year, my like, if I'm like, hey, I'm happy with it. If he gets 6 to 7 sacks for you, I'm very happy with that. I think people are going to look at AQM and as well as James Houston and be like, oh, he needs to get to double digits. I think that's unrealistic.
That's insane.
Because he's going to also be taking, DJ Wanham's going to be taking snaps from him. There's Ahmed Hassanin probably is going to start getting a little bit into this rotation, hopefully. There's other players that are. So I think eventually that's going to be Derrick Moore's full-time, like, hey, he's your second edge on pass downs. But it's not going to happen right away. But the point to this whole thing is, at the end of the day, he's better than AQM was, talent-wise. He's better than James Houston was, talent-wise. If those guys could come in with Aiden Hutchinson and get 8 to 10 sacks, in year 2, year 3, you're going to see that out of Derrick Moore. But you got to give it a little time. You can't overreact after week 9 and say, hey, that was a bust. Brad Holmes drafted a bust edge rusher in the second round. He did it again. He drafted another Levi Onwuzurike. We don't need that.
I mean, you did skip over one second-round edge.
Josh Pascal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again.
But he was injured a lot.
Yeah,
he was injured a lot.
He had 3 or 4 years to get an opportunity, and he just never could take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Where Derrick Moore, it's like, hey, don't judge him right away by year 1.
They're also different type of edge rushers.
Yes,
yeah,
completely.
and I think Derrick Moore's he's more of a pure edge than
pure.
Josh Pascal, obviously. Like Mansfield, he says, Jeff, what does it look like if you look at rookie sack numbers playing across from a superstar player like Hutch? That's fair. I think my counter to the point you made about even you could factor in, I guess, playing the AQM role. And playing alongside Hutch is definitely going to help. But when you look at just snap counts, and because I was curious about this too, like Preston to have 8 sacks. Let's just say that's around the 7 sacks or whatever.
Yep.
Preston Smith that year played in 509 snaps. Wow. That's 50 more than AQM last year. So he played a lot.
Yep.
Did he start for them?
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean, he
'cause
played.
If you playing that snap count, you probably.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he played. What is it? AQM played 457, and he was kind of the third down guy.
Yeah.
So let's just say Derrick Moore slots into that kind of role. It's going to be hard to play as many times as Preston Smith did his rookie year. So I think maybe, like for me, I'd say if he gets like 5 sacks around there, I'm cool with that. Because year 2, year 3 is where he's really going to turn into the player you expect him to be. I just don't think it's going to be his rookie year. I just want people to temper their expectations for that.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
I don't think it's fair to Derrick Moore, if I'm being honest.
No,
it's for people
not.
to expect him to be like dominant. As
He's coming in to replace AQM. Like, he's not going to get 10 or 11 sacks like AQM did. Yeah. And I think people need to realize that. And there might be fans out there who don't see that or are going to go into this season and they're just as slappy and they're like, hey, Derrick Moore is going to be the next AQM, but even better because he's from Michigan. And that, like, no, it's not going to happen. Now, I am expecting, and I know I get it, the second-round thing is the average for a second-round edge rusher in his year one is 3.1 sacks. I get that. But I'm expecting at least, I'm going to throw it out there, a minimum of 5 sacks. I'm going above the average there. I think the guy does have to still go out there and produce for you. You drafted him for a reason, and you let AQM walk to replace him with, a rookie contract guy. You made that decision, so you do have to expect that he's going to come in and give you something. You can't, like, if we left this season and he has 2 or 3 sacks, yeah, I'm going to be disappointed. I will be. He's supposed to be your kind of third down specialist to go with Hutch. And we've seen 2 other guys before get 11 sacks and 8 sacks doing that.
What about this
and
guy?
A rookie, James Houston, do it too.
Mike G in the chat. Appreciate you, Mike. He says, I'm just preparing for the shit on Michigan morning show episode after D. Moore doesn't get a sack in game 1.
Yeah, Neil is ready. But shout out to Mike G.
Oh, Neil's good. Neil's good.
Yeah,
and you guys, Sean Valesian, 2 of the best, man. Yeah, you guys got to check them out. But yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. It's just how that works. Now, Aiden had 9.5 sacks?
Yeah.
And he was the number 2 overall pick. So if you're like, well, he's going to get 8-9, it's like, well, you're going to have. You think he's going to have as much production as Aiden Hutchinson?
Nah.
9.5 sacks his rookie year.
Nah.
It's like, all right, guys, just temper those expectations. What do you think, Caleb? Derrick Moore? What are you expecting out of him? Here goes.
It is high expectations to put on a rookie for him to be the guy opposite of Hutch, like the guy we've been looking for years. But as a rotational guy, his rookie year, like let's say we bring in a guy like Cam Jordan-Boone, like for Dante Moore to play behind a guy like Cam Jordan, I think that'd be huge for him. But to put him in week 1 to be the guy next to Hutch, that's those are pretty high expectations, I think. Especially, he was a second round pick, and we're excited to have a young, good edge rusher next to Hutch, but I would say year 1, I'd like to see him more as depth and have him learn and grow in this league. That's a big task to because this city we've been looking for.
It's a lot of pressure.
Hutch. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. And he's from Michigan too.
Yeah.
Well, I do think a lot of fans are going to expect a lot out of him.
Up.
And I don't even think. I think Michigan fans are hyping him up a little bit too. Like, I'm not saying too much, but Michigan fans are going to be like, oh, he's going to be AQ again. He's going to be AQM. He's going to do this. He's going to give you 11 sacks. He's going to give you 9 sacks. It's like, whoa, dude, now you're setting this guy up for failure. So, like, all these other Lions fans that aren't Michigan fans, or if you have a 6-sack season, they're going to be like, oh, that was the worst season ever for a rookie. For like, oh, here goes Brad Holmes again, missing on an edge rusher.
I can't believe I'm saying this, and I've pushed back on a lot of these stats at times because they are important, but I can't believe I'm saying that. I think the exception is Derrick Moore. The sacks won't always. It's not just the final number for Derrick Moore. It's going to be like quarterback hits, pressures, things like that. I want to see Derrick just winning, and if he can do that, the sacks aren't going to always fall your way. But if he's just making an impact, I think that's what you want to see year 1. Where you're like, oh, Derrick Moore just beat him. Oh, Derrick Moore's there. Oh, Derrick Moore's chasing, Caleb Williams, but he gets the ball off. It's a completion. But you're like, Derrick Moore was right there. I just want to see that. Now, if you're in your 5th year, we can say, like, all right, you got to get these guys eventually. But for a rookie, you just want to see growth.
Can I ask, like outside of
growth
year
throughout
1,
the season.
Is there a world, though, where we look at Derrick Moore in the future and we're like, hey, we got our 1-2?
Yeah, it could be.
Where Derrick Moore actually turns into, like, a legit, when you look at, like, I'm not going to sit here and call him Will Anderson or Daniil Hunter, but I'm saying you're looking at him and you're like, okay, the conversation of the Lions and Brad going out and trading for a massive edge rusher, where it's like, hey, Derrick Moore turned into that in the league. Yeah. Like, he turned into like a
but he's going to have to be versatile, though. Like, it all depends on how he can set it edge, how he plays in the run game.
Exactly.
I wonder if he gets to that point.
Will come, but
I'm interested to see if he gets to that point because
If this is kind of like it sounds weird to say this because it's like the Blake Miller thing. Like we talked about it. If he could be Taylor Decker, you're happy. I think if Derrick Moore is like a career 8 to 9 sack a year guy, I'm cool with
perfect.
I think that's great.
Like even if it's 7 to 9 somewhere in that, he doesn't have to be double-digit sack guy. Like he just doesn't. Aiden's going to get. He's a defensive player of the year guy. You know what I mean? You're not going to expect 2 guys to get double-digit sacks.
We just need consistency from that.
Exactly. Spot on. We'll go to break. We get back. We'll talk to our friend Justin Rogers, DJ Football Network. But before we do that, we got to hear about our friends from Thrive.
Let me tell you guys about Thrive. Derrick Moore probably should get some Thrive so he has some energy to make sure he's getting you guys 10 sacks a season. Most people, though, think energy comes in a 16-ounce can full of sugar and neon-colored liquid, but you know better. It's time to upgrade your game with the Thrive Energy pouches. This isn't your daddy's dip. It's a tobacco-free, nicotine-free mental powerhouse packing 300 milligrams of clean and smart caffeine, including alpha GPC and L-theanine. No jitters, no sugar crash, and zero bloating. That's exactly what Derrick Moore needs to make sure he gets 10 sacks. Thrive can be found online at dipstop.com. Remember to use promo code WSN for 15% off your entire order, and exclusively at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. Thrive, clean energy, zero distractions, they just effing work.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
I hate to tell you, energy drinks, but you're about to be crushed. Thrive nootropic energy pouches are here to change the game by delivering steady, focused performance in a clean white pouch for a fraction of the cost. And unlike other brands, Thrive comes from an American company that's been leading the way for over 30 years. So stop drinking gut rot energy drinks and why don't you thrive for a change? It's just better.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
You saw it right there. There are regular sports bars, and then there are Art and Jake's. Nobody else can even come close on game day with over 80 wall-to-wall TVs, 22 draft beers on tap, and a menu packed with fan favorites. They've got exactly what you're looking for there at Art and Jake's. Make sure to scan the QR code. You see it right there next to my head on your screen, or download the A&J mobile app today to join AJ's fan club and follow them as well at Art and Jake's on social media and find a location near you today. It's a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
We're back. It's crunch time here on Woodward Sports. We're live 11 to 1 weekdays, and we got our friend of the show, Justin Rogers, Detroit Football Network, DetroitFootball.net. He's crushing it. He's also my co-host, Lions Collective, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Justin, how we doing, my friend?
I'm tired, man. I feel like I'm constantly tired.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you've had a crazy week. I mean, you had your birthday stuff going on. We appreciate you so much, man, joining us, taking some time out of your day. We were just talking before about Derrick Moore a little bit, rookie year expectations. I know people are excited, and you know this as well as anybody, how much fans have been just clamoring for an edge too, and Brad takes one in the second round. Brad's very high on him, so I think that parlays into high expectations of the rookie year. He's from Michigan too. Sprinkle that on there. What's a fair expectation to you, Justin, for a guy like Derrick Moore to come out this season for the Lions?
I think people need to temper those expectations. You look at last year's draft class as a really good example. James Pierce obviously came out, popped 10.5 sacks. That situation is dicey in itself. I think he's facing a few felony charges right now, unless there's been resolution there that I missed. But the rest of that draft class, nobody over 6 sacks, right? And you're talking first rounders. You're talking the number 3 overall pick. Abdul Carter had 4 sacks. Mike Green, who I think a lot of people were willing to maybe absorb some of the character risk for what he brought to the table, 3.5 sacks. So, let's chill a little bit with what to expect out of a rookie edge rusher. And then I went back and I'm not going to pin the history of second round edge rushers on Derrick Moore, but if you do look at that history, not a ton of great production. So I think you're looking for a guy that can be rotational, that can be in that 6 to 8 sack ballpark as his career develops, maybe not as a rookie. I think as a rookie, you're probably looking at 25, 30 snaps a game. You're hoping he kind of figures it out with some of the advancements that he's going to see in terms of technique, strength, speed of offensive tackles.
He'll probably go. Sorry, you're good, Chelsea. Go ahead.
That's all right. And you just want to see growth as a rookie. If it ends up being 3 or 4 sacks and 20 pressures, then so be it. But you can't expect Al-Quadin Muhammad out the box.
Yeah, Justin, I do want to ask you here, if we're just talking about just in the trenches, and by the way, too, that's why you're so great at your job. That's exactly our kind of mindset, too. You see fans all the time with Derrick Moore, like, hey, the edge rusher, hey, we're going to get a guy that comes in and does AQM numbers instantly. I just settle down a little bit. The guy's a second-round draft pick for a reason. Not to go at him, but it's good thought process. Sticking with the trenches, though, Justin, offensively, obviously there was a lot of changes. Penei Sewell moving to left tackle, Cade Mays at center, and then, year 2 of Tate Ratledge, and then, Christian Mahogany trying to get in the flow of things here at the left guard position. Can you kind of go over your expectations for this offensive line, what you expect out of them? Could we see this offensive line get back to that top 5 production and that level that they were 2 seasons ago?
Maybe not immediately, but what I really like about this group is there's a lot of upside. I mean, it's weird to say upside with Sewell, but I think he's still only – I don't know if he could drink yet. Can Sewell drink yet? I don't know. Clearly, Mahogany did not have the season you expected. Now you plug him in between Sewell and Cade Mays. I think you're going to see growth there. Second-year jump for Ratledge. And, whether Blake Miller starts immediately or is beat up by Larry Borum for that start of his career, like you're talking about a young group that's going to continue to grow together. Mays doesn't have a ton of experience at center, which is really interesting to think because he was so good at it last year. I definitely expect a top half of the league unit. I would say I expect a lower end top 10 unit in terms of just run blocking, pass protection, the whole package. And, within a year or two of just the kind of chemistry building with this group, I really do think that, you're looking at a group that's going to be top of the league once again.
Hey, Justin, I just want to follow up on the offensive line with the kind of the left guard position. Is there a world we see Miles Frazier at all? Like, where does he fit into this? Because I feel like we just haven't, talked about him, or people don't bring him up that much, but he's a good player, and he has a very high ceiling. I think that was the reason they took him, and it felt like they got a steal when they got him as late as they did in the draft. Is there a world where he ends up slotting into here and taking one of these positions?
I'd say it's unlikely, to be honest. He got that taste last year, and I think it was a little bit of a misconception on how he performed because the Lions seemed to score a lot of touchdowns or put up points on the drives he was on the field. But when you go back and you look at the tape and you look at the individual performance, I mean, he was raw. And we talk about Mahogany not living up to expectations. I mean, I would say on a down-to-down basis that Frazier was worse and possibly even significantly worse in terms of pass protection. One of the things I'm really curious about is where the Lions view him to start this offseason program. I think they're excited about Barch, who they brought in as kind of competition, veteran competition, experienced veteran competition for Mahogany. I think that's the guy that's probably going to compete and push for that job. I want to see where Frazier lines up. Is it going to be guard? Is it going to be tackle? Is it going to be both? But right now I see a depth piece in the 5th round pick from last year.
Kind of going over to the defense, I know Kelvin Shepard has, he's got a lot of, we actually talked about on Lions Collective, which people can check out Wednesdays at 6 p.m. But we talked about Kelvin Shepard and going into year 2, what are some expectations? I think this Lions team offensively, I know Drew Petzing's coming in, there's question marks, but you kind of know what their offense is going to be for the most part. I know offensive line's going to take time, but they have an explosive offense. They have weapons. The defense through Dan Campbell's tenure has always kind of been the question. They had a good defense AG's last year, but now with Calvin, kind of struggled half of last season. First half, they looked really good, the Legion of Whom. But going into this second year, what are fair expectations for fans for Kelvin Shepard, and what do you need to see out of Kelvin this year to feel better about him being the defensive coordinator for the future?
You hope cyclically that maybe they'll get some good health finally. This is 2 straight years where they've been decimated. I've kind of poured through the film of the individual injuries and tried to look for themes, and there just really aren't any. It's a lot of fluky stuff. There's not a consistent, type of injury or training method that's causing them to lose these guys. It's just a lot of bad luck. And so typically what you see in these instances is it does cycle out. And so that would be a really strong starting point, is to have a relatively healthy defense. We'll see, with the safety position being kind of the big question mark there. But the Lions didn't change anything on the coaching staff on the defense side. There was a promotion in there. And obviously Dan Campbell is being a little bit more involved this offseason, so maybe that is the addition without formally adding somebody to the mix. But that is a stamp of belief, a stamp of approval of what they're doing. what we did talk about last night is Shepard kind of had some bold ambitions about handing the keys to the car more to the defense. And that really was the center of the defense, the linebackers and safeties, in terms of being able to audible, check, adjust to the formations that they're seeing. And the idea is that you're not stuck in a bad call. If your linebacker, your middle linebacker, your Jack Campbell sees something that was called from the sideline isn't going to fit to what the offense is presenting, he can check out of it. And so that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of strain. That's a lot of adaptation, learning, getting on the same page, communicating. And so I think there was some hiccups on that front, particularly with the moving pieces with the injuries. In year two, with just some more time to kind of gel and build chemistry within that ability to adapt and adjust should help. But the fact of the matter is, you look at the 4 teams that were the finalists in the playoffs last year, and we're talking about 4, I believe, top 5, maybe top 6 scoring defenses in the league. Lions were bottom 12, certainly bottom half of the league in scoring defenses last year. It's really, really tough to win a championship. We know the offense is good. The offense should be upgraded in a lot of spots, starting with the offensive coordinator. But even if you score 30 points a game, there's going to be weeks where you kind of run into a wall, particularly in the playoffs, just the way the game is played, the intensity, the caliber of opponents, the caliber of defenses. And so you can't survive if you're going to give up 25, 30 points. So they've got to get to another level there where they're keeping teams off the board. And that starts with trimming the big plays and trimming the conversions on third down, particularly third and long. Like, it was just inexplicable. They would get in these desired situations, these 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10s, and then they would give up, a 15-yard pass. And so they need to do a better job of getting off the field, and they can't keep getting hammered with these 20-yard pass plays, these 20-yard runs, these 40-yard pass plays, because, you look at kind of like the defining stat in football, and it's trickier to find. You almost have to do it manually now, but there's one called toxic differential. It's basically the turnover ratio and the big play ratio. Big plays, turnovers for your team, big plays, turnovers given up by your team. And the teams that score highly in that typically are your best teams in football.
Yeah, Justin, I do want to ask you, you mentioned the new OC hire, obviously, and it's back-to-back off seasons. With the new OC going into the year. I think this might be just more a question for the people, because last year I could see why people might be just a little skeptical of Drew Petzing. I know Jeff and I are fans of him. We think he's going to be really good. But for the people who might not be, what do you think people should expect? Like, we saw last year they still were a top 5 offense. But it was very clear that there were parts of this offense, the run game, third downs, that just did not look like it did with Ben Johnson. What are your thoughts on kind of going with Drew Petzing going into this year? And even as well, I feel like I have to mention his name, Mike Kafka, in the pass game too. Like, even what should people expect out of Mike Kafka being involved in this offense?
I think it starts with the relationship with Jared Goff, right? We talked about this a lot in the podcast. Like, that's a really smart quarterback that expects his coordinator to kind of be on his level. And I'm not saying John Morton's dumb. I don't want that to be the takeaway here, but John Morton is a grinder at heart, right? Like, that's kind of his calling card, is his work ethic, his ability to plow through it by repetition, by staying late, and maybe not the savant type that a Ben Johnson was. And I think Drew Petzing is closer to that. You look at not just the football acumen, kind of his schooling, the way he came up. Like, he's clearly a very, very smart dude. He's got a reputation for being extremely collaborative. And, I went through a lot of film when he was hired, just to kind of get a feel for what he does schematically. And I think the run concepts, the versatility with meshing zone and gap schemes, with the usage of the tight ends, with the in the pass game, the varied usage of routes, particularly in the red zone. We talk about their tight end, comparing him to Sam Laporta, right? Trey McBride to Sam Laporta. Well, I think part of what made McBride so successful, if you look at how they used him in the red zone, it was really, really difficult to get a beat on what he was going to run, what kind of route he was going to run. It was different all the time, and that really puts a stress on a defense if you've got a player like a Laporta that's capable of running all those varied routes. You mix and match, make it harder for them to read, and you're going to end up being far more efficient in terms of touchdown ratios in the red zone. And so I think Petzing is a really, really good fit. I think it's almost disappointing he was off of all our radars just because the Cardinals had such a bad season in 25, and we didn't really look back to 24 and 23 and consider all the good stuff he did there. But, that was a really, really short-handed team. That was an injured team. That was a talent-deficient team last year. And you could still see a lot of the concepts and how they will apply to a far more talent-rich roster in Detroit.
Well, we appreciate you, Justin. Please go check out DetroitFootball.net and then also Lions Collective on Wednesdays. Thank you so much, Justin. I know you're busy, man, taking time out of your day as always. I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you, fellas.
There you go. Justin Rogers joining the show talking Detroit Lions offseason. We'll go to break, and when we come back, we'll get into most to gain, most to lose for the Detroit Lions. But before we do that, I got to tell you about Supreme Lending. So allow me to do that. Buying a home or refinancing is a big decision, and just like in sports, you need the right team behind you. That's why we're proud to welcome Supreme Lending of the Woodward Sports family. As a full-service lender, they boast a 99% close-on-time rate and a 97% customer satisfaction score. But here's the game changer. When you apply for an eligible loan, mention Woodward Sports, and you will receive up to $500 off your appraisal. To score this deal, call the numbers on your screen and talk to Chad and Chris at Supreme Lending today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
This is a hungry bear. This is Carl and Jeff. Carl isn't worried because he has focused energy to spare thanks to Thrive energy pouches. Jeff didn't use Thrive when Carl offered. The bear is happy about that. Don't just survive. Thrive.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
This is a hungry bear. This is Carl and Jeff. Carl isn't worried because he has focused energy to spare thanks to Thrive energy pouches. Jeff didn't use Thrive when Carl offered. The bear is happy about that. Don't just survive. Thrive.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Let me tell you about our friends over at Founders, but All Day IPA specifically, because we're excited to welcome them. And Founders, if you guys haven't know, big part of Woodward Sports. And I'm drinking Founders. I mean, we're having these watch parties. Pistons are over. I enjoy drinking Founders. And with Founders Brewing in the legendary All Day IPA, it marks the 15th anniversary of All Day IPA. It helped define the session IPA category, but its fans are what made it last. It's citrusy, crisp, and refreshing with a perfectly balanced taste and a 4.7 ABV. It's built to go the distance for the entire game. So next time you're watching the game, make it an All Day IPA from Founders. Remember, please drink responsibly. We're back. It's crunch time here on Woodward Sports. 11 to 1, weekdays. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Everybody in that chat, hit that like button. It's free. It takes a second, and it supports us massively. So if you can do that for us, we'd really appreciate it. I don't know. We have Caleb karaoke at 150. We'll keep running it back till we hit 150.
Show us your tits, Booner.
No tits are coming out. The heavies were trying to. The heavies were trying to get me to go tarp off yesterday on their show too.
Yeah.
They were like, "How many likes, Boone, to get you tarps off?" I said, "I'm not doing it." They tried to get me to do it on our show. I'm not doing it on your show. No tarps off, no titties, Boone.
Yeah,
don't be a wet blanket, bro.
So hit that like button. Hit that like button. We'd much appreciate it. We got to get into some Detroit Lions. because we talked to Justin Rogers. Big shout out to him. One of the best, if not the best, in the business. Gave us some insight on the offense and the defense, and we're going to spend some time really mixing it all together here and talking about a segment or adding a segment we haven't done yet, which is most to gain, most to lose. Detroit Lions edition. We could do this with all sports teams, honestly. I mean, it's just one of those segments that are pretty versatile, and we're going to start by my, I guess, most to gain, most to lose, because you could go a lot of different ways with this, I think, and there's not too many. I mean, maybe there's a couple where you're like, all right, that's just wrong. But you can go with a lot of different players for most to gain for the 2026 season and most to lose. And for me, specifically, I have two. And these are my two. For the first one, I'm going to start with over here is most to gain. For the listeners, it's Aleem McNeill. That's who I'm pointing at. And that is the player I believe has the most to gain this season. And the reason for that is because we're talking about someone who went from arguably a top 10 defensive tackle in the NFL, an elite run defender, landing a top 5 defensive tackle contract to someone who was on a milk carton all season. He was MIA. Couldn't find him. And I'll give you the numbers to prove that. In 2025, he was the 10th highest graded defensive tackle, 13th highest graded pass rusher among defensive tackles. In 2026, he dropped off to 90th out of 134 among defensive tackles, highest graded, and 72nd out of 134 in pass rush grade. So as a player, he just fell off a mountain. Now, the reason for that is because he tore his ACL. He's coming back, and you expect that this year is going to be back to form. This year, to me, is about proving to really himself, but to the Detroit Lions, that he's not only what they thought he was when they gave him that money, but someone who can be a consistent game wrecker. Mo money comes with mo expectations, and nobody is going to care about the cash if he's in the conversation in that top tier of defensive tackles. So I think Aleem can kind of re-cement, but really cement his way into being in that top tier of defensive tackles. That's my most to gain. Thoughts on that before we go to?
I mean, I think it's spot on. Yeah. You guys know, if you've been watching us at Crunch Time, you know I've been pushing back at the Aleem McNeill thing for over a year and a half, 2 years now. And it has nothing to do with Aleem McNeill. I think when he's really good, he's good. But I think it's about being consistent. And the contract he has, my point has always been with Aleem McNeill. You are a top 5 paid defensive tackle. Play like it. And there should be no excuses. Like, I just don't like when the people are like, well, he's coming off an ACL. Well, he's this, he's that. It's like, hey, for 3 years now, especially since he's been paid, he's been inconsistent. And if you want to blame it on the injury, that's fine. But also, you're getting paid that. Stay healthy. Yeah. I know in some knee injuries, you can't help it. It just happens. But again, you're essentially, when you got paid like Chris Jones money. If you're going to get paid that much, if you're going to be, we're taking a cap hit of almost $30 million the next couple of years each year on you, like, you better play at an all-pro level. He hasn't even been an all-pro yet. So I think it just comes to a point with Aleem, like, hey, you do have he has the most to gain because of that. But it's just, at the end of the day, it's hey, man, like, step up or we got to move on. And I've been. I think I've been in the forefront of the trade Aleem McNeill thing because, well, it's the contract.
I'm waiting for the benefit of the doubt to kick in.
I get it, but
he's been your best interior pass rushing, like.
But last year he wasn't. Roy Lopez was.
He's coming off an injury.
But that's the thing.
You don't tear your ACL.
I get that. Then make sure, like if you're getting paid what you are, and that's why I think this year's so big for him, the most to gain. Yeah. Because he is he's fully healthy. He just had a full off season. Yes. My point with Aleem McNeill this year is you better there's your minimum this year needs to be an all-pro defensive tackle. Yeah. If you're not an all-pro defensive tackle,
minimum.
No, right. No, minimum. What you're getting. Go look at his contract.
Well, I'd say I'd be Pro Bowl.
He's getting paid almost $30 million. If you're getting paid that much.
How many defensive tackles make the all-pro though?
Not all-pro, Pro Bowl. I said right. Or
did I say
all-pro? Sorry. Minimum. My bad.
We tried.
I was making sure. I was
minimum is Pro Bowl. You need to be in the Pro Bowl. Like, I know they don't do it in Hawaii anymore, but hey, like you should be in the Pro Bowl, and I think that's minimum for him. Like, you need to be a Pro Bowler because they paid you based off of your potential, right? That's what they paid Aleem McNeill. What is he going to be? This is the year to do it. And there's no more. There's no more excuses of ACL. Yeah. Roy Lopez is gone. DJ Reader's gone. You're the guy in interior, and you're healthy.
Or
and you're
playing
getting
them
paid
on
30.
the edge because they were misusing
No, they should never do that again.
Yeah, they were misusing them.
That
was not a necessity.
Sorry, I apologize to the All-Pro. I meant Pro Bowl, by the way. I have some people in the chat.
Yeah, that's why me and kids, you had to check because I was like,
that's on me. That's on me. I meant Pro Bowl.
Minimum All-Pro, maximum MVP.
Can we agree though? In the chat, I would love people. Can we agree in the chat too? Like, Pro Bowl needs to be minimum. When you're getting paid $25 to $30 million
agree.
defensive
I
tackle,
agree.
you're getting paid Chris Jones money. Dude, you need to do it. And if you want to win a Super Bowl, we saw the last 2 years interior D line what you need to win that. He needs to be that. And if you're going all in on him, man, he's got the most to gain for sure because of the price and what his ceiling is. You got to get there though. And if not, listen, there's an opt out after this year. If he's not a Pro Bowl after this year, I'm opting out and I'm going to find a new D tackle and I'm paying someone else that money.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
And I'll go to my player before we go to break. Most to lose.
Hell yeah.
It's Terran Arnold. Okay, and I think you guys would probably. I don't think he's going to be.
Has he already lost? Because the fans have kind of turned on TA.
Here's where I think it can get from bad to worse.
Okay.
Like, and maybe because people would argue, well, how's he most to lose? He's already at a low. But I think this could be. I think people are still kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt because, the injuries, which I think are fair. By the way, I mean he was injured last season, so like, what do you expect out of the guy? And I will say, last year in the games he played, he did look better than he did the prior year. So I'm trying to be fair with this stuff. He did. He looked better. The PIs went down, which you have to mention. But he is a former first-round pick, and I think he would tell you just as I would tell you because Terran Arnold's a competitor, and he knows what it takes. What comes with what comes with that is expectations. You're a first-round pick in the NFL, and to be honest, this is where it gets even more interesting. Let's look at cornerbacks in that draft. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Mike Sanderstill, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Kamari Lassiter. All these guys have cemented roles with their teams, respective franchises. Like, that's just the reality. And those guys, some guys were taken after TA. Like, one guy was taken before TA and Quinyon Mitchell. But here's the thing with Terran Arnold. He's got to prove that he can be a CB1. I mean, that's still what he needs to prove. And we're going into year 3. I'll give him some benefit for last year, kind of like the Aleem stuff. I mean, you miss half the year, or most of the year, whatever. I understand that. And I understand cornerback is one of the hardest positions in the NFL to learn. But you have to show flashes, more flashes than you did last year. Because last year, Terran Arnold, in the games he played, 97th out of 114 among all quarterbacks. And if you don't want to believe PFF, fine. Go watch the games. There was moments still where he was getting beat, and there's other moments where he looks really good. So seeing more consistency from TA is what he has to show. And if he can't prove he isn't a legit CB1, to some extent this year, to me, it's a wash. Like, he knows that just as much as we do. So that's why I have most to lose, because I think it goes from, hey, this guy's could be our CB1, or we expect him to be, to straight up, might have to throw out that B word. I'm just being real.
Honestly, I'll say this with TA. I think you could argue both ways with him. Like,
I agree. I think
most of the game,
most
could be
like, he could go either way.
He does have he potentially could be your corner one still on this roster if he goes out there and play, and he has the talent to do so. It's just really about does he do it, right? Yeah. So I think that's where he has the most to gain. But I also too as well, he is a first round draft pick that you traded up for. So you're looking at it and going like, hey, your expectations are up here. You do have the most to lose. To where if you don't, he's in year 3, so it's like, hey, if you don't produce this year, that falls off really quick. So I like that one. I don't hate the TA one.
No, I love it.
Yeah, that's that's my TA one. We'll go to break. We get back. We'll talk about it. We'll get into Booners most of the game.
I've got 2 good ones, by the way.
And please,
I think I got 2 great ones.
Keep the comments flowing. Thoughts on my picks, thoughts on other picks you guys would have, and don't forget, like the stream.
150.
But let's head to break and hear about our friends over at BlackRock.
Let me tell you guys about BlackRock. Perfect partnership for me and for Caleb as well, because Caleb's about to buy us a rookie dinner, and we're going to BlackRock for it. We're going to cook our steak right on the stone in front of us. If you're looking for a spot to host your next party or get together like we are, head to BlackRock Bar and Grill, home of the steak on the stone. Whether it's a graduation party, baby shower, rehearsal dinner, whatever it is, BlackRock has the food and drinks and the atmosphere to make it unforgettable. And the best part, there's truly something for everyone. Obviously, the steaks, there's cocktails, mocktails, salads. You literally have everything. Burgers, whatever you want, they have it. Make sure you book your next visit, an event today at BlackRock Bar and Grill, and find a location near you at blackrockrestaurants.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
I hate to tell you, energy drinks, but you're about to be crushed. Thrive nootropic energy pouches are here to change the game by delivering steady, focused performance in a clean white pouch for a fraction of the cost. And unlike other brands, Thrive comes from an American company that's been leading the way for over 30 years. So stop drinking gut rot energy drinks and why don't you thrive for a change? It's just better.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Shout out to Loom that I frequent a lot, in terms of my cannabis needs, but they are promoting a drink and it's called Buzzin', man. And you can get these in 7.5 milligrams of THC, and they come in a lot of good flavors, new flavors, in fact, orange and lemon lime. But for my guys that need, just a little bit extra on that, you can crank it up to the Buzzin' Max, 100 milligrams of cherry, strawberry, or watermelon bliss. Yes, I like watermelon, not because I'm black, but low-cal, hangover-free, and all Michigan-made. Find them at Loom.com or any of Loom's 41 locations across the state. And you want to save some money right now. The economy is messed up, so use code WSN30 to get 30% off your entire order, online or in store. Go to Loom.com, get yours.
Crunch time, Woodward Sports, going into the second hour. We got most to gain, most to lose for the Detroit Lions. I went through mine last segment. You can rewind and watch that if you missed it. Let's get into Booners. Booners, talk to me here. What do we got?
I think this is. I love the two guys that I picked for this. I actually you picked your guys first, and I was like, all right, how can I counter and kind of look at it a similar way? And here it is. Let's see. Let's look at it. So I'll start with most to gain first. I hope, and by the way, people, if you're like, Boone, what are we doing here? I know the Derrick Barnes one, people might look at it and be like, Boone, come on. Hear me out. Just wait and listen. I'm going to start with Caden Mays, though, the most to gain. And I think this is a pretty simple one with Caden Mays. Is I think right now, and the reason I picked him was the expectations for this center position after Graham Glasgow last year are so low. Yeah. And I even was like, I was thinking, how bad was Graham Glasgow? And I went to PFF. I know people don't like PFF, but I think with the offensive line, you could watch film, but I think it's the best way to kind of just measure, like, where are these players at amongst their peers? And again, I know sometimes they'll mess up Panay stats and all that, but just to kind of see where they're at amongst their peers with Caden Mays or with Graham Glasgow last year, guys, he was like bottom of the barrel when it comes to centers amongst the NFL and PFF. And I'm not just talking like, his pass blocking grade or run block. Every single grade he had was bottom in the NFL at his position.
It's messed up.
So it's like, hey, the most to gain for Caden Mays is you just got to come in here and just be average. And I think for Lions fans, we're all going to look at it and be like, oh, we have some competence back in this room and at the center position. And when you have that in your interior offensive line, I think it changes literally everything for you. Also, on top of that, and Jeff actually brought this up yesterday a little bit with it, Caden Mays is only entering his third season as a center.
So much more to
third
grow.
Season.
Yeah.
He played left guard a couple years ago for the Panthers, but then now when he started playing center, and even his first year playing center, it wasn't even a full first year. Mm-hmm. I believe it. I had it written down here. I believe it was only 9 games he played at center. And some of the snaps were even cut in half. He didn't play full time there. So he still got to get into the groove of things here. And then last year, obviously, it was a full schedule. He played 14 games at center. Now you're putting him in a building with Hank Fraley and that offensive line to learn from some guys that have actually been there and done it and been a part of the best offensive lines in the NFL. I think if you look at Cade Mays, I think you just go in there, Cade, and just be a competent center for us. That's it. That's all. And even 2 years ago, when he first started playing center, he was ranked top 15 in every center category. Overall grade, pass block grade. He was 20th in run block grade. But that's something here in Detroit. It's like, hey, you're going to improve on that because we're so good at that in Detroit. And especially with the Drew Petzing and Hank Fraley. So I had Cade Mays as like, hey, he can come in here, and he actually has like a massive ceiling to reach here in Detroit. And I think he has the most to gain out of being in the part of this offensive line. Boys, thoughts?
I like it. I'll stick with the Cade Mays one I really like. And the reason why I brought it up is because when you look at most to gain, it's who as a player can not only grow, but I guess the thought process of the player can grow. And like Cade Mays has only been playing center for a short period of time. If he plays really well with this Lions unit for, let's say, even like the next 2 years, but really this year, he's going to be known as one of those guys at center, like a Pro Bowl center, one of the better centers in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be like top 5 center, but even if he's in like a top 10, top 15 kind of category, you're still looked at, and maybe he already is right now, as someone who not only is the future of the Lions, but someone that's respectable in the NFL. So I like it.
And once again, it's a low bar. Like,
it is.
No
It is,
disrespect
man.
to Graham Glasgow, but we know what that was. Did you have anything on that, Kevin?
No, I mean we haven't seen good center play in this city since Frank Ragnow retired. So I mean, the Cade Mays signing was huge. That's a big step into transforming your offensive line to what it used to be. So I mean, I'm expecting big things out of Cade Mays. Like you guys said, this is only his third year playing center, but I love the signing, and I think he's a good stepping stone into getting your offensive line back to where you want it, where we were at our best a couple years ago.
Yeah, like thinking about gaining, like what does he have to gain? He has an opportunity to actually come in here. Like you mentioned, he could end up being one of the better centers in the NFL because of the room he's in, and who he's surrounded by, and who's teaching him. Like, I would want no one else in the NFL to if you're looking at a guy that's just became a center the last couple of years, who is learning, who did Frank Ragnow help kind of learn from and mold from? That was like Hank Fraley. They were in that same room, and Hank kind of helped Frank take his career through there. So I think it's like, hey, if Hank Fraley gets a hold of a Cade Mays, and you're like, hey, can you help him progress and get better? He's so raw still at the center position.
Is it safe to say he can be the center of the future?
I think so. I mean, they signed him on a 3-year deal, so you're sitting there thinking like, hey, you're expecting him to, right? I think it's a opt-out after year 2. Yeah. But you still sign him to not a long term, but it's a long-term deal. It's a 3-year deal. So I would think like, hey, you're looking at him as the center of the future here, and you get him in a room now with some vets in there that know what they're doing, and especially some guys that have also been there and done that at the end of the day. He needs to have a couple phone calls with Frank Ragnow. I think he needs to learn something.
Definitely.
Yeah. I really do. And he has also, too, I'll mention, he's a vet quarterback. He was with Bryce Young his first 2 years under center. Yeah. And they were actually 2 years ago, I believe Bryce Young, I think that he was in a kind of a quarterback battle at that one point where he was losing the job to maybe it was like Andy Dalton or something. Yeah. So he wasn't inconsistent. Now you have Jared Goff, who you guys know how I feel about Jared Goff.
Yeah, veteran.
Now you have a veteran there that's helping you out and kind of helping you with reads and as well with different things like that. I almost said coverages, like a center's out there.
Right.
Right.
But I get
Is it cover 2?
Let's get to most to lose for you.
Derrick Barnes, boys.
Interesting.
Derrick Barnes, and I would state it like this. I think honestly, I think the Derrick Barnes one is very, very simple. He's taken over Alex Anzalone's position, right? Yeah. Alex Anzalone went to Tampa, and he's getting paid $8.5 million. Derrick Barnes is getting paid $8 million here in Detroit. If Derrick Barnes, you now have an opportunity to be the Alex Anzalone of the Detroit Lions. Do I think you can do it? I think it's still a question mark. I don't know. Because when I look at the grades and I look at the production, obviously he didn't play Alex's position and he didn't get the snaps that he did. But I still think there's a massive question mark, and he has big shoes to fill. Alex Anzalone was a captain. He was consistent. He was elite in coverage. Like, that's big to do. Derrick Barnes isn't elite in coverage. He has a low coverage
grade. He's a good run defender. He's more of like a
run
downhill
defender.
guy.
And even his pass rush grade was lower than Alex Anzalone's. His coverage grade, I think, was like a 50 or 55. Like, it was very, very low in his career.
Ask Jameis Winston, man.
So if you're getting paid as much as Alex Anzalone, in my opinion, man, hey, guess what? We chose you over Alex Anzalone for a reason. You have to step up. Yeah. There's no like, hey, man, like, let's let him develop. Let's let him do this. Calvin Shepard stuck his neck out for you last year to take this position from Alex Anzalone. You better be ready to go. And I'm not talking about, hey, week 3, give him time. No, this isn't a Derrick Moore situation. This is a week 1, you need to be ready to go at that position because there's no one else. And in my opinion, that can almost be a make or break if you want to go win a Super Bowl, that linebacker core, especially a Derrick Barnes in that Alex Anzalone spot. That could be a make or break. And if he's not good, now you're rolling with Malcolm Rodriguez with nothing against him, but is that who you want to be your number 2, right? Like, you want to have a good linebacker core, especially on this defense. I think Derrick Barnes has the most to lose this year, honestly.
I'm really worried about Derrick Barnes.
Yeah, you brought up the linebackers yesterday.
Yeah, I did. I'm worried about him in coverage because that wasn't his strong suit. And Alex Anzalone, say what you want about him, he was one of the best cover linebackers in the league.
Top 5, you could argue.
And yeah, I feel like that's invaluable. And when you look at, Kyler Murray coming to the division now, these are things that you have to kind of worry about, man. I think he'll be okay overall. And we all know he's a beast in terms of the run game, but it's imperative that in coverage he is able to compete, because if not, I think we're in a lot of trouble in terms of that spot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, what you had with Alex Anzalone was the pass coverage ability. So Derrick Barnes needs to do that. He has a big void to fill. Our guy Klotzy, like when they extended him, Klotz said, "Look,
him and Derrick Barnes went at it."
Yeah, they went at it on Twitter. They have beef.
Yeah.
They have beef. But I like this, Booner. I think, my expectations for Derrick Barnes aren't super high, but he's definitely an important part and going to be an important part of this defense. So we definitely need him to step up.
Yeah, this comment here, Dante15151. We appreciate you, Dante, for watching. By the way, throw all the comments in the chat. We're reading them. Dante says, most to gain, Isaac Tesla. Most to lose, Brock Wright.
Brock Wright, but I like the first one, though.
Yeah, Tesla, he does have the most to gain.
It's hard because he does have a lot to gain, but, like, will he get the...
Honestly,
I don't think they have a choice.
Will he get the targets to have a lot to gain?
With no Khalif,
maybe production, he will get up to, what do you think, like Khalif production, like
400 yards? Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's way better.
He's
than
the official wide receiver 3, I would believe, because Greg Dortch, I know there's a chance
I'm with
he
you.
could compete for that spot. I think they'll use him more in the Khalif role.
I agree. I do agree. I think the one thing though, like they said, Brock Wright most to lose. I think you could argue even Sam Laporta.
Yeah, that
because Sam Laporta, the injuries.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're going, hey, like, we know you can be an all-pro. You were the best tight end in the NFL in your rookie year. We know what you can do. And his contract year, like, there's a lot to the Sam Laporta thing. I think you could argue for him. If he's not healthy and he goes through another year to where maybe he's just 600 yards or a couple touchdowns, that's most to lose because he is one of the best tight ends in the NFL. He really is.
Danny says Alex was literally the best coverage linebacker. KJ says Derrick Barnes can't even cover Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that's a fact.
What about this too? Like Danny
Got it on camera.
Yeah, Danny G said it's unreal to me that Barnes makes as much as Anzo. Isn't that crazy? Because Anzo's clearly a better linebacker.
Yeah, you know what? You know what though? It comes down to, when he got paid, which was after Derrick, and they also paid Derrick on projection partially. He's younger. They're paying him on what they think he'll turn into. If you don't watch any film and just look at Derrick Barnes' numbers, you'd be like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Like last year, he had like a couple sacks, like a pick or two.
4 sacks last year.
And he had a pick?
Yeah,
a pick or whatever. Because he had the one against the Dallas Cowboys. But then when you go watch, you're like, oh, he's actually not. There's some things he does definitely struggle with. Yeah. So I'll throw another one on here. I don't know if actually I'll ask you guys after.
Yeah, I know KG said he had one too.
But I'll throw another most to gain. Jameer Gibbs could potentially be on that conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Being a number one running back. But go ahead, guys. What do you have? Most to gain, most to lose.
Caleb, did you have one or else I go?
I could go. I mean, it doesn't veer off from what you guys are saying. My number one most to gain is, and I think Jeff, you had it up there, is Ali McNeil.
Yep.
I mean, because we haven't seen this guy play football like he did in 2023 in the past 2 years, whether that was injuries or just, he didn't have the greatest players around him on the defensive line, which hurts him. So I want to see a big season out of Ali McNeil. And a big season, I'm not saying like Chris Jones 8.5 sacks, even though at the time that's kind of the money he was making. But I want a comeback good season from Ali McNeil. I think he has the most to gain this season.
All right, and for me, it's short and simple, but mine is with the coaching staff. I would say most to gain is Kelvin Shepherd.
No doubt.
I mean, for obvious reasons, and, I feel like not to say he got a raw deal, but I feel like the comparisons between him and AG are more similar than people want to give it credit for, because we were singing his praises. I remember, y'all. We were singing his praises them first, 5, 6, almost 7 weeks of football. Right around the time the injuries began to set in, that's when you kind of started to see the decline, and I know that everybody wanted to, change it up. Why are you so stubborn? It's only so much you can do, when all of these injuries are taking hold. The communication, Justin Rogers spoke to it a little bit. Now, and talking about that, I give him the benefit of the doubt there, but in terms of changing the scheme, I think it is something that you need to lean into, because we just cannot keep running base 4-3 man coverage all day long. You're going to get ran off the field. You got to adapt. You got to adjust. I think they should move more to that hybrid nickel that we've all talked about. And I do think with some of the player acquisitions that they made this year, they are leaning more towards that. And for me, most to lose, Dan Campbell, y'all.
Wow. Okay, I like that.
No, because let's be real about it. Okay, Johnny Mo didn't work.
Yep.
But you look at what Ben Johnson went and did with the Bears, and now you bring in another offensive coordinator. Not only that, this town was kind of up in arms when you decided to keep Kelvin Shepherd.
Yeah.
I thought it was the right decision because you need to give him time to grow into the role, but you stuck your neck out for Kelvin Shepherd. All that's well and good. If this season doesn't go according to plan for the Detroit Lions, who do you think is going to be first to blame?
It's going to be Dan Campbell.
His cachet as a coach nationally is going to take a hit. It already kind of somewhat took a hit. You saw people started to come off the bandwagon last year. Imagine if they have another season where they don't make the playoffs.
KG, way to go.
KG, I like
Way
that.
to
Even
go.
if they
That's
don't
a
win a
great
playoff game, I think people are going to have that conversation. And especially if your defense is the issue, I think that's like going to be a big talking point. Me and Neil were talking before the show, and I said the only shocking thing to me this offseason, it's not even that they kept Kelvin Shepard. It's that they kept every single coach on that defensive staff. They didn't touch the defensive staff. And I told Neil, I said, that's Dan Campbell essentially just falling on the sword and saying, hey, like, I'm going down with the ship at this point with the defense. Like, these are my guys in here. I think they're good enough. And that was like when we were at the Combine and spoke to Dan Campbell, he did say, he was like, I've never spent this much time with the defense. So he knows, like, Dan Campbell knows that this defense has to be good. Like, he understands that. Now, if it works, that's going to be the big question mark, if it actually works or not. Because if it doesn't, that's where I think you're right. Like Dan Campbell's going to take the hit. And that's why I think he's spending so much time in these film rooms and working with this defensive staff, is because he knows that his kind of name is on the line when it comes to this defense.
Not just the offense too, though, because
offensively as well,
doesn't work out. Petzing and
back-to-back
Kaplan.
OCs.
You hire two guys.
I'll tell you this,
role.
KG, I love it. I give you a ton of praise because I'm mad I didn't think of it. Dan Campbell's such a great one. Because if you think about it, how many coaches get multiple chances to hire coordinators? They don't. It doesn't happen like that.
You washed one out with a generational type of offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson, but you can't back-to-back, Johnny Moe and then Drew Petzing.
Well, it's like the Eagles. They messed up. Sirianni messed up hiring the OC and DC after a couple years ago, and then instantly they get fired, and then he brings in two vet guys, Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore, and they win a Super Bowl, right? And you could tell, like, and then the next year, guess what happened? So he hired them correctly, right? Won a Super Bowl. The next year, he hires two more guys, or keeps Vic Fangio but hires a new OC. Fired year one again. And now he just brought in what's his name?
The quarterback coach from the Packers.
Yeah, so he brings in a new guy, and it's like, hey, that has to work out because that's a conversation. But Nick Sirianni, he's hired a couple bad batches of coaches, but he made that one time. He made two really good hires at OC and DC, and they won a Super Bowl because of it. So that's where I think Dan Campbell, if he messes up, you're spot on.
It's the only downside of not calling plays.
Right.
It's the only down. He's done it, but he doesn't really necessarily want to. Let's go to break. When we get back, we'll get into Jared Goff again, but a different topic. More specifically, NFC North. Where does Jared Goff rank going into this year in the NFC North? The new face in Kyler Murray. Where does he factor in?
Oh, here we go.
Year 3, Caleb Williams. Jordan Love.
Here we
we'll
go.
talk about it, but I'll tell you what, most to gain, most to lose. We're talking about players that have the most to lose and most to gain. I'll tell you what, you have the most to gain if you go to Peer Psychiatry.
Damn right.
All right? We talk about sports every day. Wins, losses, pressure, expectations. But real life, it's not always that easy. At Woodward Sports, you're never alone, and neither is your mental health journey. Peer Psychiatry provides personalized psychiatric help and care designed specifically for you, not a cookie-cutter plan. And they got 16 locations in Michigan, 2 in Ohio. They make getting help accessible and comfortable. So if you're looking or thinking about taking that first step, visit peerpsychmi.com. We'll see you after the break.
Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
what's up, y'all? Let me tell you about Gold Crown. And if you're on the social media, you might have saw me on a couple videos, but I ain't just promoting no BS, man. This is the real deal. Gold Crown with the Royal Jesters, not the juniors. I mean, the juniors are great too. They're smaller though. We talking about the big boys with this one. 1.5 grams each, and they're quad infused. That means Keith coated, live resin infused, THCA diamonds, and terpenes, all packed into one. That's 4 layers of you are good after this. Michigan made, top tier, no shortcuts. Next time you're at the dispo, don't think just ask for the Royal Jesters, because if you're gonna smoke, you should smoke like royalty.
We're back. It's crunch time here on Woodward Sports, 11 to 1 weekdays, Monday through Friday. We got more to get to. Jared Goff, we're going to get to. But before we do that, Caleb, we got some super chats we got to address.
Talk to the people.
Shout out everybody in the chat. We got Joshua Black, 1358. Thank you for the $2. He says, the Tigers ain't freaky enough to be winning.
That's a fact.
So they might need to be more freaky, and they'll score some runs, and their bullpen might play better.
But define freaky. Like, what is that? What do
Joshua,
you mean
you're gonna have to describe that one.
Can I ask you guys, though, when they hit a home run, do they have a home run thing in the dugout like they used to?
Not really. They
There's
took
no
the pizza thing away.
The vibes are gone. You know what?
Vibes
you
are
ask,
low.
hey, Booner, how are you going to turn them around? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure. I'm going to start on social media. Bring back the pizza.
Okay.
Bring it back.
They were crushing around that time.
Bring it back. Why did we get rid of it?
the
Why don't they have a home run? There's no morale on the roster in the dugout. There's zero morale.
Booner finna fix this shit.
I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to get to the bottom of the Detroit Tigers. I'm going to figure this out.
All right, we got another one here from Dexter James. Shout out for the 199. He said, some are saying Bears fans love Drake's Iceman.
I bet
Mr. Iafrate. Any comments on that one?
Oh, no, this is a big moment.
Because there's some controversy that you might be a Bears fan and you're also a Drake fan.
Yeah, I don't know why it has to be. Why do Bears fans only like Iceman? Why can I enjoy Iceman and think it's a great album?
I enjoy it.
And I'm not a
Who's the
Bears
real
fan.
Iceman?
Jared Goff.
I mean, it's not. This is where the whole ice battling over some corny nickname is a little like Caleb versus
Answer the
Drake.
question, Jeff.
I'm gonna give it to Drake. I'm gonna give it to Drake. I'm not giving it to
Caleb Williams is not Iceman. He did try to.
He did try and copyright. I think
He tried to copyright or trademark it.
Actually, the real Iceman is
X-Men.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's actually, I don't even know how you
George
can get
Gervin.
that. Yeah, the real one's George Gervin, but
there's a lot of different Icemen that are better than
X-Man. I didn't know they had an Iceman in there.
Of course.
yeah, like I don't know how you can even try and copyright that.
I think Drake did.
Iceman's
Drake
one of
got
the most
it.
like used. It's in so many. There's so many.
Wait,
different
Caleb
things.
tried
Chuck
and then Drake
Liddell.
got it?
Yeah,
Drake,
exactly.
Drake already had it. He
Chuck
tried to
Liddell.
get it, and Drake already had it.
That's tough.
Which I don't know how it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
It doesn't at all. But let's get appreciate all the
there
super
any
chats.
Yeah, we got one more here.
keep
Thank you
them
for the
going.
$2. Michael, he said, Booner, when he came back, he played out of position. I think he might be. I'm a little bit late on this one, so he could be talking about Aleem.
He was. Yeah.
He was out of position. That was an issue, and we've had this
Line him up at
conversation.
edge.
We had the conversation, and I went at Kelvin Shepard for this. I didn't blame this on Derrick.
But at the
or
time,
on,
who were your
Aleem.
edge rushers? You didn't really have.
That's
anybody.
fair, but you should never be playing your $30 million defensive tackle out of position at an edge.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. You're paying him that much money to create issues up the middle. Like, let him do that. What are we trying to do? Putting him out on the edge. You're setting him up for failure. And he's coming off an injury. Like, dude, like, what are we doing? That's another thing with like the defensive staff. What are we doing? Like, how is that happening?
Yeah, and then one more here from Will I Am 550. Shout out for the $2. He said the real Iceman is Chuck Liddell only.
Oh, I forgot about Chuck
Shout
Liddell.
out Chuck Liddell.
Shout
man.
out Chuck
Legend.
Is that the real Will I Am?
No, of course not.
No, is that Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
That
way,
guy, he don't care nothing
Shout
about sports. He on a different plane.
Shout
of
out
thinking.
Chuck Liddell.
Shout out
man.
Will
I
I
remember
Am.
he fought like 2 years ago, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
he did,
I mean,
which
that,
is
like
insane, bro.
I don't know why he would.
People that cage fight in their 40s and 50s, you are out of your
crazy.
fucking mind.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand boxing for a bag, but cage fight
because you
you're just
can
sick,
kind
bro.
of maneuver boxing. a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. It's like I don't blame Mike Tyson. Like, yeah, he lost, but it's like he got the bag. You know, like happy for him. All right.
And Jake Paul got his eventually. So
No question.
Yeah.
Let's get to Jared Goff. NFC North, where does Jared Goff rank? But really the question is he the best quarterback in the NFC North? Look at this list behind us. It's our NFC North quarterback rankings.
Those are crunch time rankings too, by the way.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We have number 1, Jared Goff. Number 2, Caleb Williams. Number 3, Jordan Love. And number 4, same height as Booner, Kyler Murray.
J.J. McCarthy. Where's the? Why
Booner
is
might
this?
run better though.
I do 100%. Yeah, 100%.
we feel strongly about how this shapes up? I know you had some thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Just the initial reaction to this list.
I mean, it's not bad. I don't think it's horrible. But Jared Goff. I mean, I agree. Jared Goff is the cream of the crop in terms of the NFC North. It's the other teams that I'm kind of worried about.
Okay.
Are we confident that Caleb has surpassed Jordan at this point?
You
know what? No, you know what?
That's my first.
Yes.
Right.
What is Jordan? Genuinely asking, what has Jordan Love done?
Nothing.
Exactly. Caleb Williams.
But
he
is a 13, 11 to 13 win guy every year.
Yeah, but that's not because of Jordan Love. That's because of the roster and the coaching staff that they have put together in Green Bay, in my opinion. The defenses that they have. Jordan Love, and I almost wanted to put Jordan Love fourth. If it wasn't Kyler Murray and maybe JJ gave you something, I am so far out on Jordan Love. I've said it before. I think he's the most inconsistent quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
He has these 2 or 3 game stretches where he plays incredible.
He does, yeah.
And then people start talking about, can he win MVP? Can he lead the Packers to a Super
You
Bowl?
know when he's on, though,
And
he's
then,
on.
Yeah, but he's only on for 2 or 3 weeks.
That.
But then he'll go on a 6-week stretch where it's like, this guy's terrible.
Yeah.
And they win games, but it's not because of him. And it's like, remember 2 years ago, the only reason they were winning games was because of Josh Jacobs.
Nice, yeah.
That was it. And then people going into the offseason were like, Jordan Love's going to be an MVP candidate because look what the Packers did. No. Look what Josh Jacobs and the defense did.
Yeah, Michael Parsons.
It was not Jordan Love, and it's not going to be Jordan Love.
But when did
Caleb
seen one of those stretches out of Caleb though?
But I know he was bad in the playoffs, but to me the ceiling, if we're talking about like ceiling, when I look at this list, right, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take ceiling into account, and I'm also going to take
heading
resume.
into the season.
I'm going to take resume and ceiling. I'm going to take both into account. Jared Goff's number one because he's a top 7 and 8 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
His resume is incredible, and he is probably, in my opinion, one of the more consistent quarterbacks in all of the NFL. So you have to throw Jared Goff at one. Now, if you want to, and we can have this conversation. Well, I'll let you handle the later conversation with the number 1 and 2 with Caleb. But Caleb, the reason I have Caleb above Jordan Love, I trust Caleb Williams over Jordan Love going into 2026.
And Jordan Love, he blew a lead last year in the playoffs.
He did. And who was it against?
Yeah, against
it was
Williams.
against Caleb Williams. And to me, it's like, hey, who would I rather have going into 2026 if I was building a team fresh at quarterback? Give me Caleb Williams over Jordan Love. I'm honestly done with the Jordan Love talk of him being an MVP guy. His ceiling's there. He has had 5 or 6 years now, or maybe I don't know. It was going into year 5 of actually playing. And it's the same thing over and over and over. And 2 years ago, it was inconsistent. And then last year, I had to hear from people, and I said, just wait. And then guess what happened? We waited. He was inconsistent again and had a terrible stretch of football. So I'm out on the Jordan Love conversation. If I'm the Packers, talent-wise, you can roll with him, but I want a quarterback that's going to be more consistent and help me win football games. Jordan Love's experiment to me is over.
All right, now I'm poking at you because I semi-agree with you, but I do want to get your thoughts, Jeff, on that. Like, you really think Caleb Williams has surpassed Jordan Love? Oh, well, yeah, you Iceman, I forgot.
You know what? I'll talk about that when we come back from break.
Look at this.
How's that for a
Look at
teaser?
this guy.
I got a bombshell for the chat when we come back from break.
I don't like this.
You're going to want to stick around for it. But before we do, I got to tell you about Mad Packs because if you think Kyler Murray is going to do something this year, you're smoking Mad Packs, which is a good thing, by the way.
All right, I might be smoking it.
Hey, you know what? It's a great product.
That's my other gripe.
It's a great product. Nothing wrong with it. We love Mad Packs. And for the Mad Packs fans, if you're looking to elevate your rotation, listen up. You already know about the high-low and boom chaka laka, but Mad Packs is something fresh for the new year. Look out for Mad Packs Extracts and Blizzard Packs, the perfect thing to get you through not only a winter, but get you through the summer as well. It's going to be beautiful out here. So stay tuned with Woodward Sports for all those latest updates. We'll see you after the break.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. 1's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Let me tell you about Buddy's Pizza for a second. They are celebrating 80 years of the original Detroit-style pizza, and they are grateful to be your hometown favorite. Follow their social channels and join their rewards program to see what they have planned through 2026. Add some Detroit style to your next event with Buddy's Catering. Their menu is packed with fan favorites, including their award-winning pizza, signature salads, home-style pastas. I might not look like a salad guy, but I'm telling you, their salads are unbelievable. Save 20% on your next catering order of $200 or more when your order promo code Woodward20. Visit buddiespizza.com/catering to view their complete menu and place your order today. Shout out Buddy's Pizza. I mean, they're unbelievable.
Big boys like salads too, man.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Hey, we believe you.
I mean, their salad dressing, I'm telling you, it's something else, dude.
Different?
It's good, yeah.
I keep hearing that. I gotta try it.
Yeah, I haven't tried it either. Yeah. I mean,
I'm a Greek salad guy myself. So.
I love a good salad. Yeah. A good salad
Nothing's wrong with it.
Caesar salad's the crave, right? Like that's the craze right now. Everybody likes good Caesar salad.
It's a good Caesar. As long as the only issue I have with like Caesar wraps and Caesar salads, I just hate when I get one and the chicken's like extremely dry.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I don't want dry chicken.
Agreed.
And also too, no dry chicken and give me some extra Caesar's dressing.
Yeah, they be stingy with the dressing. Like, damn.
They do.
It's just like the worst ones that I get is just like dry lettuce and dry chicken in a wrap
or
in a
they'll
salad.
put too much lettuce in there.
Yeah,
like, okay,
it overdoes it. That's my only issue with Caesar stuff. It's just like give me chicken and juicy chicken and give me some good sauce, man. That's all I want.
Fair enough.
Well, we got the sauce on crunch time, man. We always do. And BlackRock's behind us, man. All this food talk's making me hungry.
Oh, I'm starving.
We got more to get to. Let's get to what we were just talking about and continue that because the Jared Goff conversation, KG asked me, what do I think about it? And here's what I think about it. You got to put Jared Goff one. That's why it's our list. Because I'm willing to admit that going into the year, you have to have Goff as the number one quarterback in the NFC North based on what he's done from a consistency standpoint. He's a consistent entity when it comes to production, efficiency, consistency, all that stuff. And we could agree that, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray all have to work on that consistency. But I think there's a rising entity in this division. And that is Caleb Williams. He's rising, folks, whether you want to admit it or not. You can call me a Bears fan. You can call me a Caleb Williams glazer. I'm just reporting information, okay? That's what my job
off
is.
A screen, huh?
I'm just reporting information. I got a teleprompter above the camera here. I'm just reading information. And I'll read you some more information. Jared Goff ranks second in passing yards and passing touchdowns, right? You know who was only a couple spots behind him in both those categories? Caleb Williams in his second year, in his first year in Ben's offense. And that's the scary part. Going into his second year, he's going to be more efficient, more productive. Exactly what happened to Jared Goff in his second year in the same system. It's not the take Lions fans want to hear, but it's the one you have to hear because I'm being truthful to you. I'm being honest. The number one quarterback spot in the NFC North is going to be a heavyweight fight. I think it's going to be between Caleb and Jared, and I'm with you on Jordan Love. I'm higher on Jordan Love than you are, but I understand I can't really dispute any of your points. Caleb, consistency is an issue. But that's a young quarterback. If he's more consistent, that dude's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's a fact. It's a scary fact. I hate admitting it. I wish he would suck. I don't want him to be good. You think I like this? You think I enjoy this?
You might.
Yeah, honestly, you asked that question. I think you do enjoy it.
But it's the reality.
I think you do enjoy it.
So there's my take. I think this race this year is going to be closer than you're comfortable with. I'm just being real.
Wow.
By the end of the year, we might be having a conversation, but going into it, we're having this conversation.
I ain't
just being real.
Coming out like that, though.
No, I didn't. I did know actually he was coming out like that. Caleb, throw it up.
Oh, my bad, Boone.
Throw it up. we talked about this.
Caleb now.
Oh! No, Jeff, he's just a couple spots behind.
Last year he was.
He's only a couple spots behind. Last 2 seasons here, Jared Goff versus Caleb Williams. The reason I did last 2 seasons is because that's as many.
It fits your argument.
That's as much time. No, it doesn't fit my argument. I said, hey, Caleb's played 2 seasons. All right. I'll go get the 2-2. We'll compare their careers in a 2-year span, which Caleb has so far. And I mean, any competent person, Jeff Iafrate, and not just what do the kids call it this year? Do you guys know? Or in these days, just not a glazer, I think is the word. Sounds like you're just glazing. Those are the terms of the kids, not me. But looking at this graphic, if you're competent, you can look at it and be like, wait a second, hold on, let's take a step back here real quick. Yeah, maybe he has better arm talent. I don't know. Maybe he can scramble a little bit more and make those superhero plays that Nick Wright talked about. But what I see there is I see Jared Goff throwing for almost 2,000 more yards in 2 seasons. That's 1,000 yards a season, Jeff Iafrate. Almost 30 more touchdown passes. That's like almost 15 touchdown passes a season, Jeff Iafrate. Now, the interceptions, you can argue that. Okay, fine. Jared comes sometimes a little gunslinger, but he has had a couple games where there's 3 or 4 interceptions. So the context to the situation. And then you want to talk about completion percentage. I saw people in the chat say Caleb's very accurate. You want to know who's accurate, whether they're throwing ducks or not? Guess what? Jared Goff,
not even
who is one of the best in the entire NFL at completion percentage. Whether or not, hey, I don't care. You want to be like, hey, air yards per throw, or I don't even care about all of that. Guess what? Jared Goff was at some point in the same offense that Ben Johnson was running, and he was still putting up these numbers just like Caleb Williams was. Right now, Caleb Williams has to go out there and prove it. I don't care if you want to glaze the guy. I don't care if you think, oh, he's going to get there. He's not there yet. He's not close yet. And if you want to talk about playoff performances, what happened in the playoffs with Caleb Williams? The man had 5 interceptions in 2 games. Gunslinger, 5 interceptions in 2 games. Now, are you going to get like the Caleb Williams honestly, the crazy throw that he made to DJ Moore to win the game? You might not get that in an extension of a play like that from Jared Goff, which is fine to me. But you're going to get more consistency over a season and throughout a playoff run through Jared Goff than you are at Caleb Williams. It's the same thing with the Josh Allen, and the Neil brings up. Hey, Josh Allen's awesome. I love Josh Allen. He's my favorite player in the NFL. I love watching him. But what's the one bad side about having him in the playoffs? You saw him the game that they lost in the playoffs. He's a gunslinger. He's going to run around. He's going to fumble the ball. And you have that side of it as well. And it's the same thing with Caleb. And it's that same exact argument. So to me, it's, hey, I want the more consistent guy. Yeah, does Caleb have a high ceiling? He can get there? Yeah. Has he done it yet? I haven't seen it. Because when he did get to the playoffs, he had 3 or 4 interceptions and more interceptions.
Can you pull up Goff's last year playoff stats for me?
Oh, he wasn't in the playoffs. Oh, was that on Jared Goff or was that on the defense?
I'm just asking.
No, I'm just asking too. Was that on the defense? Who was that? No, I want to ask you right now. If you're just going to ask, let me just ask you. Who was that on? And we've had this conversation, so don't fool me.
Go check those Bears
defense
numbers.
Yeah, don't
go check those numbers.
That's not what I'm asking. Don't fool me. Who was it on? Was it on Jared Goff or was it on the defense?
Get him, Booner.
Answer, because you've answered this with me before.
That's a whole different topic.
No, it's not, because you're sitting there, you're saying, well, Jared wasn't in the playoffs. That wasn't on Jared.
No,
Goff.
I never said it was.
His
I'm
job.
just asking.
No,
I'm just asking if we can.
No,
find
I know you
stats.
never asked. That's what you insinuated, though. When you asked that question, you insinuate that.
Can I add this?
Were they not in the playoffs because of Jared Goff?
So why you? That's a great question, KG. So you can't use that as an argument if you don't believe so.
Can I counter the points you made? You said a bunch of points. I want to make sure I get.
Yeah, go ahead, counter. Bud.
You put the last 2 years up on the screen there. Why didn't we just do last year? Because he went from year 2.
You want me to do last year and in the same thing? It's going to be the same thing. Jared Goff's going to have all better statistics across the board than Caleb Williams. I can do that if you want.
4 more passing touchdowns, 5.
Oh, but who is better?
I mean, what do you mean? Who is better? One is in his
ninth
year.
Who is better? And on top of that,
are we talking about 2025 or are we going into 2026?
You just countered. Let me counter your counter.
We're having 2 different conversations.
Let me counter your counter. And on top of that, you're talking about he has Jahmyr Gibbs in his backfield. Jahmyr Gibbs is getting the ball more than, I don't know, DeAndre Swift is.
That doesn't make sense.
It's taking the ball out of Jared Goff's hand. He's putting up the numbers.
That means you have to stack the box against running backs. Booner actually helps my
argument. It helps a little bit, but also he's getting less opportunities to throw the ball.
That doesn't even make sense. No, the Bears were the number 1 rushing offense. That was a failure on your part. They had the number.
He doesn't have Jahmyr Gibbs though.
Fight back, Booner.
No, but we're in a whole different swamp of arguments now. The main argument is going into 2026. We have to factor in improvement, projection, and I think since last year, do you know who Shane Waldron is?
Familiar. He left.
Left who? It's a good point. He was the Bears coordinator, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he was with Seattle before.
Caleb's rookie year, he was the offensive coordinator.
Seattle,
you know where he's at now?
He probably doesn't have a job right now.
So, I mean, that's who we're really talking about 2 years ago. Last year, Ben Johnson, first year in the system.
You want to? Let's make a bet.
He's
Let's
top
do.
six
You guys want to do
passing
it in
yards
the
and
chat?
touchdowns.
Do you guys
I'm
want
just
to do a
saying,
pizza bet?
I'm not
Who
trying-
has better statistics this year, Caleb Williams or
This
Jared
isn't-
Goff?
Listen, here's the reality. Okay, you're dancing around my argument. My argument is this race this year is going to be closer than you're comfortable with. It's going to be these two competing, and it's going to be tight. Are you disputing that?
Yes.
So you don't think it'll be close?
Jared's the best quarterback in this division.
And you don't think Caleb will be close to him this year?
Because
then you agree with me
I
if
think
you
it's
say
gonna be
yes.
the same as last year.
So close.
I wouldn't say it was close.
Statistically close. So we agree.
Okay,
You have
we agree
to.
with that
I was going to
point
say you
then.
have to argue he's not because that's my point. It's going to be uncomfortable.
Shout out Michael Weary in the chat,
I'm
$2.
just
He
being
said,
real.
Jeff,
It's gonna be
face it,
uncomfortable.
Goff is the better quarterback, period. Thank you.
Right now, yes. End of last season, yes, he is. But I'm just saying, year 2 in the system, guys, we saw this with Jared. All I'm saying. Year 2 in a system, you improve, right? That's typically what happens. Year 2 in a tough system, you get better.
Normally.
We'll see what happens.
I don't know. Some of the things with Caleb Williams, he still exudes some of that college like stuff to me, and I don't know, man. Like he still holds on to the ball way too long for my liking. He still, extend plays a little bit longer than he should. And yeah, can he make some amazing throws from time to time? Yes, but I haven't seen the gradual improvement that I thought we would see under Ben Johnson. Did he improve? Yes. But I thought it would look a little more cleaner than what it did. Now, year 2 with Ben Johnson, it could look a lot different.
I want to address this too.
Go ahead.
ETN says he was 17th in pass rating. Their stats weren't really that close. Oh, he was 17th? Who was 18th? Jared Goff. So we want to go down that road? We'll go down that road. I'm right with you in the passenger seat.
Oh.
I mean, he was 17th. We're talking 18th for Jared Goff in quarterback rating, excuse me.
QBR.
So passer rating, QBR, okay. I don't know what you value more, but one's still back half of the NFL in quarterback rating.
Jared Goff, by the way, passer rating, Caleb Williams is 22, and Jared Goff's 3.
So we're going to go QBR or pass rating. Which one are we
can
using?
go both.
Can we
but
use
then if you look
QBR
at-
for my argument and pass rating for yours?
But if we look at
passer
both,
rating is a better stat. But.
Yeah, I would agree. As a quarterback, passer rating feels like the better stat.
What about passing yards and passing touchdowns? Is that pretty important?
Yeah. Where
'Cause
was Jared Goff in passing
He's second
yards?
in both of those.
Oh, okay.
You know where Caleb Williams is, which, by the way, you don't think is going to be as close as I do? He was 7th in passing touchdowns and 6th in passing yards.
And Jared was second, so he was better than both, clearly?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, interesting.
But this year,
let's have this
it'll be
conversation.
closer.
Let's have this conversation when Caleb Williams finally throws for 4,000 yards and maybe even touches 30 touchdowns.
And he lost DJ Moore this year. So
yeah, so let's have that conversation when that happens. I'll step down off this pedestal and have that conversation with you about Caleb Williams when he finally gets to a 4,000 yard season.
And speaking of
30 touchdowns.
Speaking of Caleb's, I didn't mean to cut you off. You was about to say something, Caleb?
Yeah, no. It pains me to say it, and it pains me to say it. Right now, I think it's pretty obvious. You look at the numbers, you look at everything. Jared Goff is the better quarterback, but Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are only going to grow together. Caleb Williams is only going to grow as a quarterback.
Unfortunately, by the way.
Unfortunately.
It's not good.
No, it's not good, and I'm a little nervous about Caleb Williams in this division. I'm going to be honest. And I think at the end of this season, there's going to be some serious conversations on who is the best quarterback in the NFC North. Right now, like I said, it is Jared Goff. You look at the statistics, you look at everything. He's done a lot more than Caleb Williams has. But, I mean, Caleb Williams, I think he's going to take a big step in year 3, unfortunately. And I, as a Lions fan, I am a little bit nervous for Caleb Williams. I will be honest.
Interesting.
I will not stop fighting for Jared Goff.
It's not even like we just had a segment praising Goff. It's not even like a poo-poo. It's just the
Yeah.
reality.
You
You don't have to knock one down to pump the other up. You can just be
Right.
like, hey, Goff's good, but this dude is uber
He's on his
talented.
heels, yeah.
I
Yeah,
do see,
like-
and dude, when we talked, and that's why I put Jordan or Caleb Williams over Jordan Love, is I do think Caleb Williams has an incredible ceiling. Like he has.
So
an
when is he going to hit that ceiling?
That's the thing. Can he get there? But I'm not going to sit here and say he's going
Not
to
next
there.
year.
But I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm worried he's going to do it this year. I want to see it first. Like that's been like the thing in Chicago. No quarterback has ever thrown for 4,000 yards in Chicago in the history of their franchise.
Yeah, he came 50
And all of a
short. That's
sudden,
tough.
but all of a
That's
sudden
tough.
we're going to be like, hey, Caleb's going to do that consistently. Like I don't know. And we've seen as well. Like even at USC, we've seen Caleb Williams just like with Jared Goff in big games in different situations. We've seen him fall apart. And it's like in the playoffs last year. I know it's year 1 of the Ben Johnson system, but we saw him last year with the Rams game, 3 interceptions. Like you've seen that. So it's like if we're going to talk about his ceiling, okay, let's talk about what he could be as well when it comes to the bad issues.
I understand
And I think it has to go both ways. And it's the same conversation we had with Jared Goff. Like, hey, Jared's incredible if you put everything around him, and he's a great non-mobile quarterback, essentially just a pocket quarterback. But if you put everything around him, it's going to be great. But also, he has those slip-ups in playoff games, right? The Commanders game, or a couple years ago, the Texans game when he threw 4 interceptions. Like, he has those issues. So I think it's the same thing with Caleb. It's like, hey, until I consistently see it, it's like with Jordan Love. Everyone for years was saying Jordan Love's an MVP candidate level player. For years. They were talking about Jordan Love like Jordan Love was Caleb Williams right now. That was the conversation with Jordan Love. But what's happened the last 2 or 3 years? Puts numbers up, but he falls apart when it matters. Yeah. And he's inconsistent. I want to see before I'm going to sit here and be like, Caleb's going to pass Jared Goff. It might happen this year. I just want to see consistency. That's all I ask for. I'm not going to say he's a bad player. I won't stoop to that level.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I just want to see it. I want to see it multiple years, and I want to see it throughout a whole season.
We'll get to break. By the way, ETN, I read that wrong. I thought I meant QBR, not passer rating.
Yeah.
The QBR, they're about the same, actually. 16 for Caleb, 18 for Jared Goff. I like quarterback rating. Some people might not. Passer rating gets a little tricky, too, because they factor in those statistics are very niche, like weird stats. So I'm not a big fan. I don't either. But the point I was making is if you did want to bring up QBR, they're about the same. It's like it's QBR. It's an ESPN created stat for those who didn't know. It was created by ESPN, so I hate that stuff. But let's go to break. When we come back, we'll get to a maybe hypothetical surprise trade that the Detroit Pistons could make, and I want to see if you guys are on board with it. And then we'll get to mailbag after that. We got to hear about our friends from Jars.
We sure do, and in particular, Jungle Juice, man. Jungle Juice is a bold, high-performance cannabis brand where raw power meets rugged innovation. Big oil, smooth performance. The new 2G XL delivers 2,000 megs, that is milligrams, of THC, all gas, and no leaks. Designed to be clog-resistant, inhale-activated, and USB-C rechargeable for a seamless user experience. And Jungle Juice can be found in over 250 dispos in Michigan. And all you got to do is take out your phone, get on Instagram, and follow Jungle Juice at GetJungleJuice and get yours.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
It's game on at Art & Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art & Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
All right, let me tell you about one of the best drinks on the market right now. We're excited to add Water Hazard to the bullpen from our friends over at Founders Brewing. You've probably seen that bright blue drink. Yeah, that's Water Hazard. Best served over ice with a slice of lemon. It says lemon here. I haven't tried it with lemon. I need to try it with lemon. It's a vodka-based cocktail at 5% ABV. That's citrusy, refreshing, and gluten-free. It's also the very first canned vodka cocktail from Founders, the first one that they've done, and it's perfect in between innings or even between rounds. So next time you're out, get in the drink with Water Hazard. Please drink responsibly.
That Water Hazard, man, it's dangerous. We're back.
So good.
Crunch time here on Woodward Sports. We got mailbag coming up, but we want to spend some time talking still about this NFC North stuff. I know we got into some heated discussions, Caleb versus Jared, the rest of the NFC North, and KG. You wanted to bring up Kyler Murray, which I'm very, very curious to hear what you have to say about Kyler.
Listen, man, and I get it. I know I look like the crazy person right now. I have been kind of the only one on this hill since he has been signed. But I'm not saying be fearful of Kyler Murray. Right. But I think if you're a Lions fan, you should absolutely be paying attention to what the hell the Minnesota Vikings are kind of doing over there. Because, one, they beat you with Max Brosmer last year. I mean, let's be real about it. Let's be absolutely real about it. I know this team is in a better place from that day, but when you just look at Kyler Murray, coming over from the Cardinals, I understand he only played 5 games last year, but he did play 17 the year before that. And in both of those seasons, 68% completion percentage, not bad. And in both of those seasons, he had more touchdowns than picks. If you want to go to the 2024 season, in which he did play all 17 games, you're looking at 21 tuds and 11 interceptions. And we know the thing with Kyler Murray has been injuries and the inconsistency when he is in. But let's not act like this guy has not shown flashes of being a competent quarterback in this league. One, he's mobile. So if you're the Lions, that should automatically be a red flag for you because you lost Alex Anzalone. And if it's one thing KOC is going to attack you with, it's going to be Kyler Murray with his legs. J.J. McCarthy damn near came in here and tore you up with his legs. Let's be real about it. And I just look at this. Kevin O'Connell is going to create an offense in which it's going to limit the mistakes or take away some of those mistakes from somebody like a Kyler Murray. And then you just look at who he's throwing the football to. You look at the fact that he's throwing the football to Justin Jefferson. He's throwing the football to Jordan Addison. T.J. Hockenson is still a pretty good tight end in this league. Jawan Jennings just got at it. So all I'm saying is we already got to worry about the defensive end with Brian Flores. But KOC cooking up with Kyler Murray, you already hearing reports that they love this kid. He's already a better quarterback than what they had before. If he stays healthy, that could present a problem down the road for the Lions, man. And Booner, you said Jordan Love could be 4 on this list. I tend to agree with you. I think Kyler Murray could pass for 3rd in the NFC North.
I think I understand kind of the point of Kyler Murray because he has, if you are looking at these quarterbacks, he has actually been there and done that. He's a multiple time Pro Bowler, and he's
not a scrub.
He's won games. He's not a scrub. But the issue is that I look at is the last couple of years, like especially last year, obviously there's like that injury situation. Like I always look at it like this: why did Arizona move off of him? Like there was obviously something that they didn't feel comfortable moving forward. I know maybe that's the timetable. It was like, hey, we need a refresh.
Health, inconsistency.
But it's that, and it's also too like. He had two really good years when he was a Pro Bowler. I think it was like 2020 maybe, and 2021. But he hasn't been a Pro Bowler since. It's like 6 years since. Yeah. So it's been time. So I think I see hey, if he does hit his ceiling, especially with a quarterback guru like Kevin O'Connell, and as well too, I think the weapons that they have there, Jawan Jennings added to that. I think there's a chance it could be scary if he plays at a high level. Now will he play at a high level? I don't think he will. And I think the fact that right now, I mean, I'm okay. I don't want to say I don't think he will. I think he'll be decent, but he's not going to be a Pro Bowler. And in that,
are you sure? I mean, no, like I said, 2024, 3,800 yards, 21 tuds, 11 picks. That's not a bad season.
It's not a bad season, but I don't think he's going to go out there and throw for over 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. But see, I
think I don't think because that could be the KOC bump.
I'm interested in the KOC
bump
thing.
Is real.
It's real.
I understand.
It is a real thing.
But has any of the KOC bump players been like a mobile quarterback like Kyler?
No, but that's what scares me. This is what he's always wanted.
But maybe KOC is just a guy that works with pocket quarterbacks, and he's able to teach that at a high level. Maybe KOC can't work with the mobile quarterback, and in his system, a mobile quarterback doesn't work well in his system. That's my only pushback is we've always seen just quarterbacks that can just sit in the pocket, sling the ball there. Yeah. Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, that's what we've seen with KOC. Even Max Brosmer, I believe it was. We've seen just not as mobile quarter. Kyler's going to move around. He's going to hold on to the ball a long time. That's one of Kyler Murray's things is he's scrambling and he's not sometimes going north and south. He's going east and west.
True.
And it's
KOC
is that going to help him
fix some of those things?
That's where I think the big question mark comes into play. Can KOC do that? Because he hasn't had a quarterback like Kyler.
You need KLC, man. That guy's got to turn water into wine. No disrespect to Kyler Murray, but just where Kyler is at now, what people think of him as, coming out of the last couple of years in Arizona, not being healthy. Yeah. But people see talent. To KG's point, he's got talent. He went number 1 in the draft for a reason. I just think people, and I was part of this where I was poo-pooing on Sam Darnold. Okay, I poo-pooed all over. Oh, he's just in a KOC system. But when he left and did it again with Seattle, I know the numbers maybe didn't look as good, but I think I kind of look back and I had a little more appreciation for what Sam Darnold did in that system.
No, I get that.
Passing wise, as he's a good point guard quarterback, and I want to see if Kyler Murray can pass that test.
And my last little just point to add on to that, I know it was a lot of inconsistency and injury with Kyler Murray, but how much of that is Drew Petzing? Because we knew when he came over here, the rap was, hey, he don't design the passing game that well.
Yeah,
I think it shuts it off. When Kyler left, Jacoby Brissett took over. The passing game was fine. That's true. So Jacoby Brissett, Jacoby was going nuts. I mean, I think Jacoby Brissett had like a 400-yard game or something like that. Like
Who did they play though?
But it was like multiple. Here, let me pull it up. Actually, that's a good question.
That's important.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm gonna pull it up to see because I think Jacoby Brissett.
But it's a fair point.
He was cooking in fantasy.
He had 320 versus the Colts. He had 450 versus the 49ers. He had 300 versus Jacksonville. He had 300 versus Tampa. He almost had 300 versus the Rams. He had 250 versus Houston.
You went on a burn.
That's crazy.
He had 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception versus one of the best defenses in the Houston Texans.
But Drew's system, I think he even say this, it's built for that type of pocket quarterback. I wonder if KOC has some versatility in there, too.
That's where that's my only question with KOC.
He can work with him.
That's where it's always felt like that Minnesota Vikings offense has been built. Like, you even see when they brought in backups, right?
Yeah.
Like Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs can move, but, like, he's smart. He's in there just throwing around. Like, Kyler Murray is a little bit more of a, I'm going to scramble. I'm going to extend the play. Like, I'm interested to see if KOC's system can have a Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And that's why, too, J.J. McCarthy, he's kind of the Kyler Murray type where he's running around a little bit.
Yeah, but Kyler's better.
He is, but how did that work for J.J.? J.J. made mistakes because of that.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, well, why did Sam Darnold do it and J.J. couldn't? Well, J.J.'s like, yeah, he's younger,
also
not as
rookie
smart,
quarterback,
but he's also a mobile guy, though, to where he was running around a lot and trying to make plays and make all these. So, I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm just saying, pay attention. That's all. Just keep an eye on it.
We'll keep it on alert.
If you guys are watching and you haven't hit the like button, just please hit that like
150.
button. Let's get to 150.
I want to hear Caleb sing that song from yesterday.
We're like 33 away from 150. So
33
of you.
No, you keep moving the needle. I'm going to do it for 200.
We told the people all show 150. You
got
to do it.
150, you're going shirtless.
No.
Yeah, that was the deal.
I'm not at 150. No, Booner.
All right, now all of a sudden people are going to stop liking it because you just changed it again.
Okay, no.
Jeff has been saying, I'll show 150 karaoke.
Tarps off for Booner,
Jeff,
man.
have you been saying that, or is it
He has been. We've been saying it. Fine. Now all of a sudden we're changing it.
Okay.
He says,
like to stream.
And what?
And Booner will go shirtless.
And you'll sing.
And Booner will go shirtless.
Now you'll sing.
Let's see. Mike G says mail sack. By the way, great throwback by Mike G there. That's what I used to call mailbag back in the day. Mail sack. It's ridiculous, by the way, to hear that out loud. Do you see Pacheco having more TDs than Gibbs this season, given he's a short yardage guy?
No, I'm not either.
More rushing TDs? No.
I wouldn't be shocked if Pacheco does get in that like 7 to 9 range, like D-Mont was getting, or like Jamal Williams a couple years ago.
Yeah, I can see him.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's
if he's got like 600 yards, but like 7 TDs.
Yeah.
Where
even
it's like
if he hit somehow 10, I wouldn't be like, oh, whoa.
Maybe 500 yards, more like
but
whatever.
It's the Gibbs show. Let's be real.
It's the Gibbs show for sure, man. For sure, because you want to have him even at the goal line. You want to have him. What he can do in the receiving game too.
His lateral speed.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Come on, man.
By the way, we got super chats. I saw some come in, Caleb. We'll address those too before we get any further.
Yeah, we got some super chats here. One from Michael. 2 from Michael. Shout out. Thank you for the $2. He says, Jeff, face it, Goff, better quarterback, period.
Yeah,
than Caleb Williams. Face it.
I'm facing it. I'm facing you, the people.
Another one from Michael. Thank you for the $2. He says the same was said about Love, or was I lied to? I think he was talking about the jump that Caleb Williams is going to make. I think people were talking about how Jordan Love was going to take that huge step. And shout out, I ain't say that in the chat. Shout out for the $2. He said, glad you boys are back. Missed the 8 p.m. slot. Let's fucking go. And hi, KG.
You're a real one for jumping over to the new time slot. It's just a much. But people, if you want, I know it's hard. It's hard to understand. Well, why are they changing? Trust us. The 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. is a much, much, much better time slot.
Yeah, there's been a lot of.
As much as I love the night shows are great, but you guys have to understand from like a talking sports perspective, 11 to 1. You're in it. You're in the mix.
You're in the mix. There's a handful, I think, of things that go into it. I've been doing 8 to 10 p.m. for the last 4 years. Like this week is my first week in 4 years that I've had weeknights to where I can watch the Tigers. Like I can actually like.
Why you want to do that?
Well, I'm trying to bring them back.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to watch them to bring them back. But it is. A lot of people have been like, why'd you guys change it? If 8 p.m. is the only time you can do, just go back and watch it.
That's it.
It's the same thing. I know you can't live interact, but
yeah,
at least you can still watch the show.
And support.
Shout
the
out
guys.
to the people supporting. It's big time.
Zach's mailbag. Can we get a segment with Fish? Shout out Fish.
We
man.
need to get Fish on.
You know what's funny about Fish? He still sends me every 6 months a voice message that's 11 minutes long.
I get one on my
About what though? Like
just honestly, it's like a podcast, and I love it. He just talks about everything that's going on, and he'll just be like, "How's your,
I get one every year on my birthday from Fish.
He's just an amazing.
Shout out Fish, man.
And I'll say, Fish, I love the messages. We gotta shave 5 minutes off these things. 11-minute voice messages. It's a podcast.
That's on brand for Fish, bro.
Oh, it's
really
amazing.
But shout out to him. If y'all want to see Fish, go down to the Motor City Cruise games. He does film some of those games.
I gotta go out to a game just to see.
We gotta reach out to Fish, get him on the show.
Yeah,
we gotta get just a quick 10 minutes. Come talk about life, Fish.
Just go. Just go.
Here's a microphone.
Here's
we'll
a microphone.
Sit back and watch.
Just go, man. Just go. But yeah, we'll definitely figure out a way to make that happen. Before we get out of here, hit the like button on the stream. Again, I'm gonna say it again because we got what's up?
I was just saying another mail sack. Could Booner and Juicy J or Juicy Jeff, it says, together beat Easy in an Oklahoma drill?
Wow.
Could we together?
That's a good question. I don't know.
A good question.
Easy's got some power.
I think
dude.
so. Yeah, he's like an immovable force.
Yeah, I feel like once he plants his feet in the ground, we're not moving him.
Easy, and he's got to factor in. We're not factoring in something big. He has dad strength.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That
He's
is
got
a
Bryson
fact.
now. He's got dad strength
That
on
is a
top.
fact.
And by the way, he's losing weight. Shout out Easy, bro.
Easy's
He's
working,
getting into
man.
Dude, he's doing a great job.
And you know, Muay Thai or some shit, right?
Yeah, he's out there. He's out there
He
training.
damn near choked out a
Telling
stick.
you.
I heard.
I think he wants to be. I think he wants to be in UFC. I think that's his next gig. Is he wants to be a UFC wrestler?
He already got stick already. No, he's taking down someone else.
Yeah,
Man.
man.
Booner's next.
John Effing Lord said, "When is Crunch Time getting sponsored by Ozempic?" He said also, "Welcome back, boys. Thank you, John Effing
Jeff
Lord."
got the plug. You let us know.
I don't want to go like free ads.
Either
but
Ozempic or Zepbound. One of them two.
I got offers. I might be in a commercial.
we got to,
I might
and
be
as
in a
soon as we
commercial.
get it, it's just Jeff and Charles Barkley next to each other.
Yeah.
Him and Serena Williams.
We'll get
What a
out of here.
duo.
Before you leave, hit the like button on the stream. We'll
Are
be
we at
back
150 for him to sing?
tomorrow.
No, I think we 125 or 127.
Oh,
You got lucky.
127.
You got lucky today.
No, I mean,
you got
I
lucky.
want it. I
Hey,
want it. I want it.
if there's 200 likes by the time on this stream by the time we get tomorrow, you're singing tomorrow.
And then
catch
you're
you-
taking your shirt off.
We'll catch you guys tomorrow, 11 to 1.
Love you guys. Peace.
11 to 1 p.m. Check out Braylon Show.
Hey,
app.
Tyler
And Anson.
Conklin, by the way, is on the Heavies today. He's coming in studio. Shout out T-Conk for his foundation. So
Yes,
make sure you go
sir.
check the Heavies tonight out for that as well. Tyler Conklin. Shout out.
Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
The next generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.